Hello, ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome back to the hottest show in all the globe on YouTube and every podcasting platform imaginable, The Welch Report. With me, your host, Jean-Luc Welch. Make some noise, clap it up, get excited, wherever you are. We are back. All systems go, everything's working, everything's thriving, and it's a Thursday afternoon. This is the last show of the week. We ain't gonna have no Friday episode, so sadly it's gonna have to be this episode is the episode for everybody to come in and have their say, have their piece. This whole show is going to be a championship round dedicated event. That is right, ladies and gentlemen, you have your say, you have your voice. We're happy to have you on for the ride right here on The Welch Report. Again, I'm your host, Jean-Luc Welch. This is The Welch Report. We're here normally every Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, covering the world of boxing, sports, and beyond. Please go ahead if you're here. Leave a like on the stream. Go ahead and get the likes up on this show right now. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Hit the notification bell so you know whenever we have or whenever we post on this channel for anything that we do. Keep yourself up to date. Also, be sure to leave a comment in the comment section so we can have your voice be seen and heard by the wider social media public. Right here on the screen, you chat, we can click, bing, bang, boom, everything's all hunky-dory, and everybody's going to be able to have their say in the entirety of curating, of molding what this show is going to be for today's episode. Also, be sure to share the show with everybody that you know so we can keep on building up this empire together, making it do what it do, making it thrive and shine. We are growing rapidly, and it's all thanks to you and your support. This is the hottest show in the globe with the greatest community in all the world. You don't want to miss out on being a part of this empire and helping us grow. Also, If you want to help us support, again, we're getting close to that watch time. We're getting close to them watch hours. We're getting close to being able to have ourselves monetized. Absolutely, with all of you continuing to watch and support. So please, keep on watching, keep on sharing, keep on supporting. And in the meantime, if you want to give to the show and help this show grow and flourish, we got Cash App, we got PayPal, we got links in the description for you to be able to give any amount will do. We just need something to help invest back into the show. It's all funded by you all. You all help make this possible. And I can't do this without you. Absolutely. We appreciate it so much. And please, if you can, be willing to. If not, sit back and enjoy. Absolutely. And feel free to comment and chat on whatever we got to say, because this is going to be an insane day. And like we said at the start of the show, this is a full show of championship round topic. That's right. That's right. The whole time is you all driving it, and it's because I'm not going to be here tomorrow. I'm not going to be able to do a Friday show like we normally do. Got some stuff I got to take care of, got some things I got to handle, so we're going to be out on Friday, but because of that, we're going to make today the day to have you all have your voice be heard and help you all drive the whole other show. But we still got topics, we still got agendas, we still got stuff that we're going to discuss, and we still got news that we're going to break like with first and foremost as we're going to jump into the show. Well, shoot, since we're going to jump into the show, we're talking about boxing, ain't we? That's the main thing that drives this channel. So since we're talking about boxing, it's time to step into the ring. Hey, oh yeah. Let's get it started. Round one of this show going underway as we go and discuss what's going on in the happenings in the roundabouts of the combat sports world. My gosh. Well, what I was already going to talk about, now I've had to flip the entirety of the topic because my word, Devin, Haney, and Brian Norman was going to happen. Oh my gosh, it was all up until yesterday. And then after 2 hours today, next thing you know, it ain't happening no more. Oh, Lord. What the world took place that made this so that all of a sudden the fight that seemingly was verbally agreed upon now seems to all of a sudden go up in smoke. Again, let me paint the picture with the timeline of the events that have occurred thus far leading into what we know now with the whole Norman and Devin Haney situation. So, the whole debacle with Haney and Jose Ramirez, everybody didn't like it. Bing, bang, boom. Haney's still champion. Who's Haney going to fight next? We'll have to wait and see. Brian Norman comes along at 147, knocks out Jen Sasaki and makes him forget a month and 2 weeks of memory. 6 weeks of his life are erased from his own mind because of the vicious KO that Brian Norman Jr. Dispatched upon Jen Sasaki roughly a week or two ago. Next thing you know, Brian Norman is the hottest name in all the ticket, hottest name in the globe, hottest name in the division. Looking to fight Boots Ennis. Boots is going to move up to 154 to challenge potentially, hypothetically, Virgil Ortiz, which again, we're tentatively saying that may be the fight that is concrete, but we're going to have to wait and see. But regardless of which, Boots is out the picture for now with what seems to be his move at 154. Brian Norman at 147 looks to be the most dangerous person in all of the division. Then we get rumblings that Haney and Devin, brother, they're going to go at it. Oh, Lord. Oh, my gosh. We're going to get that fight happening. We said on this channel that shouldn't happen because we know Devin Haney, at least in my mind, would have a very bad day. But all that being said, it was a fight that was genuinely being looked at as viable. Next thing you know, yesterday, we seem to be from the Boxing Watch, another phenomenal podcast and boxing show. If you ever get a chance to look at it, go watch it. It's great. They do some great work. They essentially, seemingly, were breaking news that roughly it had been confirmed that Norman and Devin Haney had verbally agreed to fight against each other. It was going to happen. We were all saying, hey, all right. If we're going to make it do what it do, make it do what it do. Let's get it popping. We were all excited. Absolutely. But then, as of, I think 2 hours ago, over social media, all of a sudden, is it a channel called Coach Malik? I don't want to get the channel's name wrong. I'll pull it up for you all to be able to see. But essentially, next thing you know, all of a sudden, it seems like the fight's off. And now, we're saying,
we got some problems here.
Oh my God.
We got some problems.
My goodness, it's ridiculous. We're all really confused. I'm really confused. So we're going to take some time and really break down what this whole debacle really is about. And in fact, did Devin Haney and Bill Haney duck Brian Norman? Or is there more to this story than we may expect? We're going to talk about it all right here, right now. But let me see what the chat has to say. Jay Rich, what's good with you? How you doing, my brother? Hopefully you're enjoying this Thursday show. Again, like I said, we're not going to have a show on Friday. I'm going to be out on Friday, and I'm not going to be able to do any of the fights this weekend. Sadly, I got some stuff I got to take care of. I'm still going to keep up to date with it, but streaming-wise, won't be able to stream it. So we're going to try to mesh everything we can that we will normally do on Friday onto today's episode. So this whole show, again, is a championship round show. Whatever you all want to say and discuss, we can do it right now. In fact, I need to change the title and make it so that we say it's apparent that, hey, that's what we're doing. But let me see what you got to say. Also, what's up to you? How you doing, brother? Thanks for you checking in on the show. But let me see. Brian Norman can fight anyone right now, and fans would even pay to see it. He has options to make money, and sorry, Haney is few to no options. There's an argument for it. And I can, again, we can have that discussion, absolutely. No question about it. It's just, or rather, the skyrocketing cachet of what Brian Norman has right now at his disposal has made him world-renowned from the sense of he's must-see television. He's must-see TV. He is a violent, dangerous, and unrelenting threat that everybody who has been just got a whiff of him. Now, witnesses that, hey, brother, if this is what he's doing at 4 in.the morning, at least for my personal time, my gosh, what can he do at a prime time, 8 o'clock at night, against some of the biggest names in the world? People love destruction. It sells easy. Norman's got destruction and skills. And off the back of Sasaki, you're right. His options are wide open. He can fight any person. And at least for the next 1 or 2 fights, it don't got to be an elite name. And people will still come out to see him because they want to see that level of scary demolition occur again. Now, eventually, yeah, people are gonna say, "Hey, brother, fight the biggest of big." But he's made that buffer because of this newfound explosion onto the scene of boxing. Devin Haney, maybe not having as many options. Maybe we're looking at a man who is more restrained because of what we've seen with Jose Ramirez. Now, they want to see somebody against him, not just, again, for fans that want to see him get knocked out, not just to get knocked out, but they want to see this man go against somebody who can actually be as athletically gifted and fleet-footed as Devin Haney to stop, again, the running that did occur on Jose Ramirez. He doesn't run all the time. Let's be clear. We've gone through the difference between the two countless times on this show. So we understand, or at least you all understand what I mean when I say running versus boxing. What Devin Haney did against Jose Ramirez, that was absolutely running. No question about it. No question. Absolutely. Oh, there's no doubt in my mind. That was problematic. Now, because of that performance, we want to see him go against somebody that can stop that and force somebody to box and show us what he can really do. Not just standing in front, but actually having to use all of his skill sets and forcing everybody to have to say, "Hey, man, this ain't going to be. This can't be what we see from you again." So, but regardless of the amount of options that Haney or Norman has, one of the options that is concrete for both of them is each other. That's understood. That's real. Like that's legitimate. For each other, they are, to some degree, a non-negotiable type of opportunity, regardless of how much or how little wiggle room each may have. Again, Norman having more, Devin Haney having less, but regardless of whatever that vein of wiggle room is, within that box that both of them have, there's an overlapping Venn diagram that each of them fall into with each other as necessary opponents. And we wanted to see it. Hey, I'll be real. When it got put out that there had been verbally agreed upon that we were getting it, oh gosh, I was elated to the moon. Let's make it happen. Mind you, we were on this channel saying, "Hey, brother, if you're Bill Haney, don't put your son in that mess. Oh boy, don't do it. Don't do that." because you will be you'll be a fix. you'll be in a bad way if you put your son through that. But it's still necessary that you got to do it. Norman, if he's able to take out Devin Haney and do cleanly without any drugs or anything of the like that we have with Ryan Garcia, get Devin Haney out of there, not just knock him down multiple times like Ryan Garcia, but knock him out. Oh gosh, skyrocket. Oh, he's a superstar. He's a megastar. He is now one of the biggest faces in the sport. He's already got a rising cachet, but now if he beats Devin Haney, worse than what we saw Ryan Garcia do to him, cleanly, but that puts his butt on a different stratosphere. He is now as viable of the biggest, most recognized names as the likes of, hey, not on the same level, but in terms of out in the open, Ryan Garcia. And not within the same popularity, but within the standpoint of visibility and notoriety. He now becomes one of the more talked about and recognized and widely anticipated names in the sport, like a Tank Davis, like a David Benavidez, like a Boots Ennis. Again, not saying he's on that same high tier threshold, but he's on that same widespread notoriety that we wanted to be. So take the fight. That's what we would love to see. And we got excited for it. But now, it ain't happening. So the question is, did Devin Haney duck? Or did Devin and Bill Haney duck the likes of Brian Norman Jr. when it came to making this fight actually take place and actually making it happen? And if we go back, I think I can pull it up right now. If we go back through, I think it's the Pound for Pound Boxing. I think it's the name on Twitter. They did a good job of going through and discussing, or rather, essentially having a timeline of when all of this stuff broke and when it didn't break. And I'll pull it up for you right now to be able to see. And let me make sure. Yep. We got it right. Oh, yeah, we got it right now. Oh, we ain't wasting no time. Yeah, picture. Oh, yeah. We got it working now. We smooth as butter. I ain't had to worry about nothing. I told you we were getting everything right for this show. We're going to make sure it runs as smoothly as possible. But as you can see right here, as we're going through it and pulling up all this, the timeline, starting from about, 24 hours ago? It was, not here. No, just still going off of the arguments with Terrence Crawford. What did we get caught with? Which we are, if you want to, we can talk about this as well. Terrence Crawford getting caught with potentially the right straight by Canelo when he gets to southpaw. That's a conversation that now, by showbiz the adult, all of a sudden is starting to take the boxing world by storm from the standpoint of, ooh, Crawford may want to look out because there may be some real danger. They can actually have you get put down. And maybe curtail that boxing ability that we see you being able to use to destroy the likes of Canelo if you were going to win by boxing with your skills. That's a whole nother conversation. But as we can see right now, we go with, 18 hours ago, Bill Haney and Brian Norman back and forth. Things almost got heated. And it seemed like everything was pulling through. It was again, around this same time, the boxing voice had disclosed, hey, they verbally agreed to that fight, making it happen. Everything seemed all well and good. We were all excited. And the next thing you know, see right here. See? We got on the boxing voice. Bill Haney says Devin Haney has signed a contract with Brian Norman. Sorry, baby.
Devin Haney has signed the Ness. Breaking news. Breaking news on the boxing voice right now.
What's
the
up?
Boxing voice. Bill Haney with breaking news. Devin Haney has signed the agreement to fight Brian Norman not once, but twice.
Okay, but where is it then?
You just signed it.
Where is it then? Because it'll tell you where it's at.
We signed it, no. The place to be determined. I think it says Riyadh.
Okay.
It says Riyadh on there. I think it might say, yes. I think it's Riyadh.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay, so now we cooking with grease.
Let's see. So, excuse me. Oh, Lord. Voice cracks. My apologies. But hey, so seemingly, we were all set and ready to go. It seemed like it happened. Brian Norman, again, on another separate podcast or another separate show, this time to hang out, he said that he had signed a contract on his own. And again, if there's any language, I'm playing this stuff. So I can't remember if anybody said anything out of pocket. So viewer discretion is advised. Apologies for anything that may be said that is indeed not suitable for children. Just because we know who we're dealing with when it comes to Norman Sr. and and Bill Haney. So viewer discretion is advised. But I'll play the clip for what Brian Norman said on the Hangout spot regarding him signing the contract as well.
I mean, we both agreed to it on my end, and we believe Devin them also said they'll fight. So now it's time to get contracts made, get a date down, venue, everything set up, and we can get this thing started. So right now there's no contracts or anything. So that's all we're waiting on, get stuff started.
So is it more of a verbal thing, or handshake agreement? Is this something obviously you guys signed and it's just now the working out part? How does that whole thing work?
Now, so far we just both agreed to fight each other. So, like I said, now it's just time for the contracts. It's just at first, we gotta say, do we want to fight each other? Well, of course, we said yes. They hit us up. We said yes. Then they hit Devin Haney up second, and then asked them did they want to do it. Then they said yes. So now it's time for contract time.
All right. So as you can see, Norman said, and when he's talking about he's talking about Turkey Out Sheik and the whole Riyadh season crew. They reached out to Norman. Said, do you want to fight Devin Haney? Norman said, yeah. They reached out to Haney. Do you want to fight? Oh, excuse me. They reached out to Norman and said, do you want to fight Haney? They said, yes. Turkey then went and reached out to call Bill. Do you and your son want to fight Norman? They said, yes. What Bill was saying seemed like the contract was already signed. Norman saying that they had been verbally agreed to and they're waiting on the contract. But either way, all signs seemed to show both parties were indeed ready to make that fight happen. But now, on Coach Malachi, another boxing podcast. Good guys, I'm telling you, we breaking news. 3 different sources are just getting. It's a great timeline. It's spread out everywhere. But we love it regardless of which. Because we love smaller channels or not smaller channels. Because they are big channels. But we love independent feeds being able to be the source of breaking news. It's great. But now going on Coach Malachi, in his podcast. Broke news that, hey, apparently, that fight's off. And again, I'm going to play the clip. Viewer discretion, at least for this one, is strongly advised. Just to be clear, viewer discretion is advised. And apologies for what you get ready to hear.
That's our heard. We're up next. Fuck wrong with you?
Nigga, your mama's a bitch, nigga.
Don't do that.
Nigga, I just did it, nigga.
You know what? I'm not even gonna do that because I respect him. I'm gonna let you have it.
Fuck you, nigga.
Yeah, all right. Nah, the reason I just said I ain't gonna do that because I know what your mama. Yeah, it's all good. No. It's probably personal shit. I ain't gonna do that. All right, it's cool.
Nigga, I don't give a fuck, nigga.
It's cool.
Everybody gotta go, nigga. Everybody that came, nigga, everybody gotta go, nigga. Fuck you.
It's cool. Yeah. Fuck you too. It's fuck you too, nigga. And get the fuck out of the phone. I was gonna be first. Get your bitch ass out of here. Nigga, go stop some motherfucking coke. Nigga, go get your 8 ball, bitch. Bitch, go get your 8 ball, man. That motherfucker.
So as you can see. So as you can see. Oh shoot! So as you can see, things got a little heated in the back and forth between Norman Sr. and Bill Haney Sr. When it came to talking about the fight, and again, I'm so sorry, Al Booger, what's going on? Alpha, what's going on? Happy to see you. Glad that you're tuning in. Leave a like on the stream if you're already here. I'm so happy that you all are joining in. MS, what's good, brother? And yeah, look, you laughing, I'm laughing. Oh shoot! Oh boy, it's funny. It is funny. And again, I apologize for the language. Please, that I try to keep it clean. I want to keep it clean. I couldn't. I'm sorry. I didn't. I got a beeper button, but as quick as they were going, it would have just been one big long beep sound. Yeah, look. y'all, this I got a button that can like they use on TV that can go and bleep out all that stuff. Only issue is, and again, turn your volume down if you can, because I don't want to break your ears. But you would have just been hearing this. Nope. It would have just been that the entirety of the show. And then you wouldn't be able to hear the clip. So I'm like, shoot. I can't do but so much. So, but regardless of which, so with this now, seemingly, and again, I'm about to read your chats. I see you coming, but let me finish the timeline so people know what's going on. So that went and transpired between the two, and then seemingly now, the fight is off. Now again, on Coach Malachi, excuse me, it was me and Sean, or it was said, as you can see here, that Brian Norman Sr. Turkey offered him to fight first. Remember, we talked about that with the other clip that also confirmed that Bill tried to get in front of it, found out, or as what we see here, Bill tried to get in front of it after he found out to make it look like they were looking for us. Bill said they were not looking to fight us right now, and that's why, and that's just what Turkey came up with. Now again, I read that horribly. I'm so sorry. I'll let you see the clip fully to get the context. And again, viewer discretion is advised. Apologies for any language, just so you know.
Is a fucking facade. That's why I just told him, make sure you, all that shit you talking, you kind of got to stand on it now. If you don't stand on it, you make sure you show all this shit, you let all the world hear this shit and show him he a bitch ass nigga. This is the real, bro. The real, and you know what, fuck that shit. The real is, we was offered to fight first. He didn't even know about it. Turkey was trying to find him a fucking opponent for one of his cards. He didn't even fucking know. He did not know. All that old this and that. That's where the first tweet, Twitter, whatever the fuck that was that night came out. Because they said, okay, we got y'all, and now we have to ask them. They asked us first. They asked us first to make sure we would before they even brought it to him. So what he did was when they brought it to him, his ass tried to get in front of the ball and make it look like Devin was looking for us, but that ain't the truth. Devin was looking for us. It seems like he told Kay this morning they wasn't looking to fight us right now. He wasn't looking for us. That's just what Turkey came up with. They came up with that shit. You feel what I'm saying? Like I ain't supposed to be doing all this goddamn talking, but you know, they always fuck with me and get me out of pocket, get me out of line, and that's what it is. I mean, you know, so like I said, I got all the motherfucking facts. You ain't never caught me in no lie. You know me, coach, I'm gonna come with this bitch and I'm gonna tell it like it is. Yeah. I'm trying to stab a nigga. I'm trying to stab a nigga dead and shut the fuck up, bro. Leave me alone. Go about your business. You draw this personal attack. Fuck you, nigga. Yeah, because you get put out, nigga. You don't want to see whole ass moves. You call the case, come up, man. Look, I ain't gonna lie. We weren't even trying to fight you. We weren't even trying to fight him, man. Look, he's fucking about Brian. He's fucking scared, bro. He listens to everybody else. He ain't stupid. Especially a person to put us in an 18 by 18. That nigga's not gonna get in the ring with us. That's why I think, but the whole thing is a fucking.
And again, I do apologize for the language, but now you get the entirety of what's been going on. And I'm so sorry. I thought I had it up on the screen, but you were able to. You were able to tell me you were able to hear the audio, right? Let me be real. You were able to hear the audio of everything that was just said, and so. Yeah, I thought I had it up on the screen. I'm so sorry. I forgot to click on the thing. But regardless of which, you heard exactly what was said. This now, brother, oh shoot. Oh my gosh. Now again, you know how we do on this channel. We normally keep it strictly to the fights. We keep, we try to talk about news. We try to talk about the who can win, why they can win. I personally don't like getting into all of the behind the scenes drama of stuff because most of the time it's a lot of mess. Honestly, that ain't to some degree ain't really worth talking about. So normally we try to keep it as on the up and up. Not from the standpoint we can't delve deep, but that we should try to. I don't want to waste your time in talking about stuff that isn't really substantial per se. Not saying others do that or don't do that. Just for me, how we try to do the show to make it as entertaining for you all. But this, we gotta hey, if what seems to be the case is the case, I got it. Bill, I won't put this on Devin, because again, Devin ain't here to say anything. But I will say, if Bill, who was talking, as we've seen, all that rah-rah, all of this talk, and all of a sudden, if what Norman Sr.'s saying is true, Turkey offered the fight to Norman, then offered the fight to Haney. Haney got blindsided by Turkey wanting to make this fight happen and then trying to get out in front of it, make it seem like Bill wasn't, or make it seem like they were trying to go after Norman and Norman didn't want anything to do with him. Well, mind you, Norman had already said, hey, we got the offer first. We agreed. We waiting on you to come to the table, make it do what it do, and let's get the fight on. And now, Bill, when faced with that opportunity, didn't take it. It sound again. I'll be tentative, but it sounds like a duck. From the vantage point right now, sounds mighty a lot like a duck. I can't lie. And again, I took the time to going through all the clips so we could get a full picture of exactly what took place, so everybody can get full context as to what this argument or what this debate is about. So we all got the same information, and we can interpret it differently. We can potentially interpret it differently, to each their own. But there is now a conducive timeline, seemingly, to be talking about this. So it looks like Haney ducked. I have to say that. It does. Now, I will not, before I get into my other stuff, let me read what you all got to say, because I'm so sorry. I said I was going to read the chat, and I got to read the chat. Let me see. These dudes sound like they had the street beef. I not like no. But hey, look, man, they hot. This is why I wanted this fight. This is why I want this fight to happen. Because, but at that press conference, oh, shoot, I would love it to be the main event. Devin Haney versus Norman, and then the co-main, Bill Haney versus Norman Sr. Get in the ring. With how much they jawed at each other, shoot, I'd see that fight. Just because I hated that stuff yesterday, just happened to catch it in real time. Oh, so you caught it in real time? No, I'm playing catch up. This all hit me all at once. So I'm like, oh shoot, it's insane. Glad they squashed it ultimately, but I hated it. Yeah, no, so I do understand it. And so okay, so audio's good, everything was all good. Smart move on the part of Haney's. Terrible fight for Devin right now. You're right. Now you're absolutely right. Oh, you're right. You're right. You're right. You should. We didn't want. I said, as y'all know, I also said the brother should don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it at all. But what Bill didn't do, right? He kept up the facade without making a clear cut, sign that would have saved him this type of essentially ire. Because now people are saying, hey, brother, why ain't you take it? If you really about that smoke, if your son is that good, why ain't you take this fight? Though we know it's a bad fight, you can't talk like you talk. And then Turkey comes up to you with a fight, a big fight. And we all have he has a reputation. Devin don't duck no smoke. And now you don't take it. It's a bad look, though it's an understandable look. It's a bad look, though, it's a bad look, though it's the right move. Because of what Bill has consistently said about his son and what he can do. See, this is the problem with being a villain. I keep telling you, being a villain, you can't move without a level of ire at all times. Understandable. But also, when you don't back up what you say you're going to do, it hits a lot harder. It hits a lot harder because now you're not only are you the villain of the sport, but now you don't have the luxury of what others would have that aren't in that role of not fighting the people that you can fight, especially now that we've seen, okay, hey, brother, you back in the ring. And ain't no injury, ain't no hurting stuff that got you messed up. You fought like you wanted to fight. As good, this is you're only as good as your last fight. That's perfectly fine. Guess what? Now you back in the fight. Regardless of whether we want to see you or not, brother, you still say that you about that business. And Bill Haney, you say you about that business too. But if you're going to take it, take it. That's what's going to be seen. That's what's going to be the public appeal. And that's going to be, that it's going to hurt him. That's the thing. It's going to hurt him. Like I said, it's going to hurt him. I told you all, almost, last year, I told you all, this villain role ain't going to fit Haney because it's going to hurt him in the long run. Because the moves that he's going to have to make is going to further plummet his stock, not just from being hated, but also because now you ain't even doing the stuff that you said you could do. And your father cashing checks and now you can't cash. For this instance, it's for good reason because you don't need to fight Brian Norman, but still the ire, or rather the stigma now further gets on you. Oh, this brother really doesn't want to fight people that are physically on his level. Further bleeds into the thing with Ryan Garcia. Though, again, PEDs and all that stuff, how he's been bigger than most opponents, the further bleeds into the fact that, hey, brother, you can't talk like you talk and then not walk like you need to walk. It all compounds and it can be bad. This is what I was saying, it can be problematic. But let me see, Teddy Berkshire, what's good with you? How you doing? Thanks, for tuning in to the show. My man's knockout of the year. That man wants no part. What it do, John Luke? Hey, man, glad to see you. Glad you're back. Again, we're not going to be here on Fridays. We're doing a full-blown championship round show today where you all can talk about anything and everything. We got topics and agendas, absolutely. We're breaking this down and much more. But you all can still drive the conversation, no question about it, for the entirety of this show. What we normally do on Friday, we're going to move on to today because I'm not going to be here Friday or over the weekend. Sadly, to be able to record and live stream all the fights happening. I do apologize. We're gonna be back next week, but still, it's we gonna make it do what it do as much as we can right here, right now. I'm saying, hey, we got 8 inches and all of that, but we got Negroes in all sorts, all walks of life up in here right now. We love it. We appreciate it. Get the likes up, please do. Help us support. We can make it happen because this is a conversation that everybody is gonna want to get in on. Absolutely. Floyd's son, what's good? How you doing? Good to see you. Thanks, Unique. Title says, Haney Duck Norman, did he reject the offer? Please just say it's a title. They got to fight this year. No, no. And again, we you might have missed it. We just went through the whole timeline with clips backing up what was going through. Norman or Turkey went to Norman first and said, Norman, do you want to fight Devin Haney? Norman said yes. Turkey then went to Bill Haney and said, Bill, do you want to fight Norman? Haney seemingly had said yes. Then they went on the Boxing Voice. Haney said, hey, breaking news, Norman versus Devin Haney is happening later in the year in Saudi Arabia. That's what he said. Then comes out later on, they got a spat, they got a dispute. And all of a sudden now, Bill Haney and Brian Norman, that fight is off. Norman is saying that Bill Haney backed out because Bill Haney, 1, was blindsided by the deal, and 2, was not going to take the fight, regardless of all the talk that he said. And he was trying to make it, and Bill Haney was trying to make it seem like Norman was ducking Bill, when in actually, because Bill and Devin was looking for Norman. Again, this is Brian Norman's words. But in actuality, Norman and Brian, or Norman and his son, they had already signed and they were ready. Bill Haney was the one who, when he got approached with this big fight, he did not go and take it. He went and said no. He went and nixed the whole thing. After trying to go out public and say, hey, yeah, this fight's happening, and then trying to make a big spectacle, and then saying, oh no, this fight's off. They don't want the smoke. In terms of Brian Norman and his father, they don't want the smoke with us. When what seems to be the truth is the counter opposite. Bill Haney don't want no part of Brian Norman. And so that's why that fighting happened. So the question is a question, or the title is a question, because we're trying to talk through it. But with all the evidence that we've been given, it looks to be that right now, Bill Haney didn't, it's a duck on that part for right now, from what we can see. With all the evidence that we got, We can debate it, absolutely, but right now that's what it's looking like. And so we want to see him fight. We do. Now, it was the right move by Bill to not take that fight with Norman. But also, you can't talk like you wanted it and then you don't do it. You can't say it's going to happen and all of a sudden you back out to make it seem like the other party didn't want the smoke when it was you. That's a problem. That's problematic. And that ain't, nah. So right now, it looks like the title's right. The question's been answered seemingly. And it was Bill who ducked Brian Norman Jr. So it's bad. It's agreed they're going to kill Devin for this one. Yes, they will. I'm telling you, it's going to be bad. It's going to be bad. Let's see. In the end, Bill and Brian Norman Sr. verbally agreed to make it happen later in the year. I have my doubts, but we'll see. Right now, they're in. They want to fight. They're waiting on Bill. Bill seemingly doesn't want it. So that's where we're at a crossroads right now. Nothing new here. Haney's already known from last fight, running in the ring, now running out. See? Hey, look, what I tell you. What I tell you. And so it begins. And so it begins. And so we're here. I'm telling you, this is going to be bad. This is going to be really bad. This is going to be really bad for Devin Haney because this man running in and out the ring, father running in and out the ring, your father, you can talk 100 miles a minute, but when it comes to putting you're putting pen to paper, brother, you slow. When it comes to putting pen to paper, you can talk as fast as you want to. You talk like you got the speed of Amir Khan, but you move like Jose Ramirez when it comes to signing on the dotted line. Those are the jokes that's going to be said about Haney because it's all bad right now. Let me see what we got to say. Teddy Berkshire, Jared Anderson, and AJ talks surfacing. If AJ wins, he gets another chance. If Jared wins, he gets up to the top 10. But both lose they're out of their. Hold on, wait. Let me read this again. Jared Anderson and AJ talks surfacing. So it's getting potentially AJ and Jared Anderson are going to fight against each other. If AJ wins, he gets another chance at a title. Again, similarly. If Jared wins, he's up in the top 10 of the boxing world. But both lose. They're out of there as in careers. I think you want to say out of their prime as in their careers. Now, I have heard reports that this is going through. I don't know. Right now, the plan seems to be AJ versus Wilder. If Wilder beats Herndon this weekend, and we're going to talk about Wilder versus Herndon after this segment, or after this Devin Haney debacle, unless y'all want to jump into it right now. But this is what seems to be right now, from what I know. It's it's Wilder and AJ. If we see Wilder beat Herndon this weekend, but the most likely fight that would take place, as I know right now, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Perfectly fine. This is a fight that I knew was speculated. Absolutely. But I didn't think it was going to come to fruition, especially based off of Jared Anderson's last performance that we all watched together on the live stream that was not as impressive per se. Yeah, he some stuff had gotten better, but it wasn't anything close to what we needed to see from the likes of a Jared Anderson when it comes to elevating himself after the loss to Bacoli and turning himself into potentially a more driven fighter as well as a better fighter. Didn't really see all that as much. So from what I know right now, this is on the docket. AJ versus Anderson. Will it come to fruition? Not as confident, but we're going to have to wait and see. But we appreciate the update, absolutely. And so, yes, I know Anderson has only one loss, but he's told the world he has no true interest about it. Yeah, that's the problem. That's the problem. Roy Jones Jr. confronted him about it too. We don't know how much his brother really wants to put his all into this sport. He's got money. He can retire now if he wanted to because he's got the money to be able to go through. But again, like I said, you can't just walk through this sport. You got to commit. At least in some degree, you got to commit, because if you don't, brother, it will eat you up and spit you out. Oh, yeah, no, he was a high. Yeah, he's the brother that fought against Bacoli, and they got knocked out, but was seen to be on the verge of being a top 10 heavyweight contender. But then, boom, got pushed back down to earth. Let me see. Walter Reed, he showed glimpses of talent, but you can't box with no heart. That's the issue. He's got a lot of slick. Like, he fights like a smaller. He fights like a cruiserweight, which is great. We talked about it with Usyk. Great thing. We talked about it with other fight. Moses Atuma fights with some of the qualities of a cruiserweight that are you got speed. You actually have agility and mobility. You're not as big, but you can back it up with a lot of nuanced skills that most of the other heavyweight division don't have access to because they are too big and they're more so lumbering and they're more so relying on power and size than the footwork and the more smaller or the small stuff in boxing. He could have been great. He still can hypothetically. But there's no drive to maximize that ability. And especially when he got exposed against the likes of Martin Bacoli, it showed, hey man, you're gonna need more than just the show of you got some flash, some pop, some flair, a little bit of, pizzazz to your game. You'll need to have some more substantive, dominating skill sets that are being able to use to be able to win and take advantage of your advantages. Because right now, when you went against Bacoli and in your most recent fight, it wasn't nearly what it should be. From the standpoint of something's missing. That what is missing might just be the drive of being a fighter. And so, yeah, fast mouth, slow hands, your bad combination, no question about it. Poor Bacoli, Timberlake ended his career. Poor Bacoli, aka Timberlake's in his career. But yeah, I agree, Teddy. He looking good. All the chumps they put in front of him. The question is, real contenders. That's the issue. And he definitely ready for Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua will kill that brother. He'll kill him. He'll destroy him. If Anthony Joshua faces off against Jared Anderson, he will destroy him. Destroy that brother. No question in my mind, he will kill him. It'll be bad. It'll be so bad. But Anderson, between that bad to average level, I need to see a dominating display from Anderson that leaves me no questions before I can say anything about him competing against even the likes of a Bacoli, a F.A. Jogba even, let alone Anthony Joshua. I need some confidence because right now I ain't got it. I definitely ain't got it. Also, Rusty Cage, what's good with you? How you doing? Thanks for tuning into the show. And please, leave a like on the stream if you're here. Go on and keep on sharing the show. If you want to support, we got means to support. Cash App, PayPal, also links in the description. Again, I got to do the plugs. I have to do the plugs. I need to. If I don't, well, I go broke. So I don't want to do it, but we got to do it regardless of which. But again, we ain't going to let that stop the conversation. I'm going to drive home this weekend to watch the Wilder fight. Yeah, everybody's going to be tuning in. That's going to be one of the bigger fights of the weekend. People are invested. We need to see, is this truly going to be the end? Because if he loses this or if he looks bad in this, I'm calling it quits. I called it quits 2 fights ago. I called it quits after Zhang. I called it quits before Zhang. He should have stopped fighting before Zhang. But he kept on doing it. And then lost to Joseph Parker. Still, I knew it was done. I hope I'm wrong. Good gosh, I hope I'm wrong. And I hope Malik Scott changes because, brother, it's not looking good right now. I want to see Bacoli. I want to see Bacoli get knocked out unconscious by Wardley or Tuma. Now, hold on. Now, I like Bacoli. I do. It would be, ooh, buddy. Bacoli, ooh, that's a shoot. Fabio Wardley. See, here's the thing. Bacoli, and I'm going to tell you something that's crazy. I'm going to tell you something that might be crazy. And you might hate me. I think Bacoli would have an easier time beating Wardley than beating Moses Atuma. I do. I think Bacoli would have an easier time beating Wardley if he was to win than beating Moses Atuma. Wardley is so stationary. And if we saw what we saw with Justice Haney, being able to go and tee off on him. Now we know Wardley got that one punch power. Yes, we know he can knock out Martin Bacoli. Yes, we know this. He's got the pop to do it. But I will say this. The offensive array of Bacoli, with the lack of movement that we know Wardley has in his disposal. Again, F.A. Ajagba moved more than what we saw with Fabio Wardley having success against Justice Honey in his last fight. Now, Justice Honey, mind you, is a better fighter than F.A. Ajagba. We get it. We're not playing the triangle thing. But based on what we saw, it looks to be that because we have an easier time beating Wardley than it would be fighting Moses Zuma. For me, from a skill set perspective and from a use, not just of the ring, but of just pure talent, I really think Moses Zuma would beat him. More likely than I would think Fabio Wardley would beat him. Though, I wouldn't be wrong at all. I wouldn't be surprised at all if Fabio Wardley knocked out Bacola with that insane level of power. Because Bacola's like a defense, again, will be something that will, oh Lord. But if he can take the pop and walk through it and continue, shaking it off like he did against that shot against Joseph Parker without getting knocked down, it could be a tough time. And also the gas tank of Wardley, let's not forget, it's not anything great either. If it gets into the later rounds, all of a sudden Bacola is still able to ramp up his aggression without having to stumble over his feet, because we know Bacola ain't going to, or Fabio Wardley won't use, great footwork, because that's not what he's known for. Then we can see him in trouble. But with Moses Zuma, I see it's more so of a problem against Bacola. So, here's my opinion. Bacola has hands of titanium. I'm going to give him a pass because they didn't do their homework. But yeah, he got humiliated. Yeah, he did. He came in short notice. I understand him. Against F.A. Ajagba, though, that's a fight where I'm like, ooh, boy. F.A. moved more than I expected he would ever move. I want to see that rematch. That rematch is speculated to be happening, I think, later this year. I think I heard some news. Maybe it might have been a false report. Excuse me if I'm wrong. But regardless of which, that fight with F.A. Ajagba and Bacola might happen next this year, in the rematch. I'll be down to see it. We're going to see if F.A. can either continue the same thing and actually get the win, or if we see Bacola all of a sudden actually get some level of light-footed work, and then bing, bang, boom, not trip over his feet and actually corner and potentially stop F.A. Ajagba. Though, again, I enjoyed the fight the first time. Some people were saying it wasn't as great, but either way, we're going to see how it's interesting. Anybody else see Yafi? Yafi did. He did get beat, didn't he? Hold on, wait a minute. Oh. He did get beat. Hold on. I almost forgot that. I almost forgot that. Yep, he did get beat. Oh, shoot. I'm sorry. I've been keeping up with so much stuff, and especially with the Brian Norman stuff been breaking. I've been trying to figure it out. I almost forgot that. Yeah, he did get beat. Shoot. Dang. Golly. I completely forgot. Bacola not in boxing. Bacola not in boxing either for it. A little bit confused. Bacola not in boxing either for it. A little bit confused at that statement. Excuse me if I'm missing something. A little bit confused at exactly what this means. But let me see. Congrats on your fighter, even with 6 losses. He can't use in the UK. I love Bacola. He has a puncher's chance, just not training. I don't believe. Actually, it might be. Maybe he needs to get more aggressive in hunkering down. And, my biggest gripe with Bacola, as much as he can dance, he doesn't show that same footwork in the ring. That's my thing. As much as he's got rhythm, because he loves to dance. You got to have rhythm to dance. As much as he's got rhythm, the brother doesn't have footwork, which is insane. He almost rolled his ankle just trying to track F.A. Ajagba moving side to side at a very slow pace, much. So I'm like, man, it's a contradiction. It really is. Bacola might not be in boxing for. Excuse me. Okay, I see what you're saying. So you were saying Bacola's not in boxing for just boxing either. Okay, I understand what you're saying now. Bacola might not be in it for boxing, but he's there for poverty. That's a hunger too. He just needs discipline and training. So he's fighting for his family. He is fighting also. I think he's also helping out his community as well, and helping to send money to build facilities and stuff there, either for boxing, just for for quality of life changes in general. So he's trying to help out. He's fighting. He's fighting for something. He can fight for even more if he goes and really hunkers down and fixes the stuff that he essentially lacks, or at least do what, it's going to sound wild, but do what Wilder did and harp more on the stuff that you do well. Focus in on a better delivery system to help out with your combinations, to help cut off the ring and use your length, to help land power, to help go downstairs a little bit more. Yeah, you know, if Bucoli used a George Foreman type defense, I think he would be a whole lot better, because it wouldn't negate what he would do. It would help with the big shots that he loves to throw with them long arms. The biggest thing about why Foreman adopted that cross arm style from Archie Moore, who taught him how to help be a great fighter in the second half of his career. After 15 years out the ring, he would then be able to, with that cross guard, be able to jab or throw it straight and then immediately shell up in one seamless motion, without having to worry about having to use head movement, and be able to walk opponents down and be offensive without having the need to adjust oh so much from what you're trying to do. Seamless offense to defense type of work. If Bucoli can learn that, be so much better. Wardley has no shot. He can't take the punishment Bucoli would deliver. He can look half the fighter he did in the Anderson fight. I can't see it. Now, I beg to differ. Because I'm going to tell you this. Justice Haney, the reason why Justice Haney was able to have so much success against Wardley wasn't just because of the power that he had, but also he was a whole lot better defensively, and he was able to move forward, slip and block shots, and counter for almost 10 rounds straight. And Wardley still didn't go down, though he got rocked multiple times. The issue that Wardley would have with Bucoli would be the volume, and it would be the pop, but it wouldn't be the defensive strain that was being put on top of him. It wouldn't be like that, where everything's missing, or at least a good chunk of stuff is missing. That's part of the reason why Justice Haney has such a dominating fight. Bucoli doesn't have that. He's not Justice Haney. He's got power, absolutely, but he can be negated. We've seen him get negated. I'm not saying Justice Haney hasn't, but in terms of the ability, it's a lot harder to beat a Justice Haney than it is to beat a Bucoli. Though the threat level of Bucoli and the power of Bucoli is absolutely substantial. The fact that he's easier to hit, and we know Wardley's got the power to hit him. Wardley can turn this into a brawl and have success. Wardley tried to do that against Justice Haney. It just couldn't work. If you get into a brawl with Wardley, now that's where he wants to reside. And especially if he's landing on you, oh yeah, that's great. That's what's going to happen against Bucoli. For me, now he can still lose, but at least he's landing in the type of fight that he wants to be in. Justice Haney turned into a fight he didn't want to be in. That's the issue. That's the problem. Haney beat Wardley at his own game with better skills before he got knocked out. Bucoli can't beat Wardley from a skill set perspective at his own game, because he doesn't have, or he doesn't have, to me. Or excuse me, Bucoli can't beat Wardley at his own game, to me, or at least as likely, due to the fact that Bucoli is not nearly as skilled as a Haney. And if Bucoli gets caught that much, we've seen him get put down against the likes of Joseph Parker from overhand right. Wardley got more power than Joseph Parker, and he's more violent offensively. He will fight his way out instead of just being slick and deceptive. F.A. Jabba has him still fighting his way out of Bucoli, and Bucoli had that butt on the ropes. And he was able to fight his way out and land some good shots doing it. That's where I love Wardley. I really do. And I love Bucoli. Something smells of a potential bad matchup if that did take place. As for Moses, I need to see him fight a top 10 fighter first. Great, no problem, absolutely. He's at that level. He's at that stage now. I think I said 1 or 2 more fights, and then boom, go up there. Once he hits 14-0, now it's time for the big boys. Now it's time to show me what you got. Absolutely, that's what I want to see. So I'm right there with you as well. Canelo, how did Yafai survive that onslaught? That was a great question. But I don't know how he survived that. That was ridiculous. That was ridiculous. I heard Deontay Wilder got rid of, wait a minute. I'm so sorry. Let me read through. Wait a minute. Deontay got rid of Malik Scott? He did? Mark, I'm going to come back to this. Let me read through the rest of the chat. If this did take place, that's great. I'm not sold on the tumor yet. He looks good, but eye test is still ain't enough. I'm sold. If you ain't, I respect it. Just know there is something to sell with most, even if you don't believe fully. Understand, I am not buying into him just for nothing. There is some actual great talent there. Still got to be proven. I get it, no question. You still got to show up against the people that help validate it even more. But against the people right now, I can't deny there is some great stuff I'm witnessing. And I ain't got no problem saying that. I believe he will validate it as time goes on. No, at least in my mind, no question. Oh yeah, Malik's not gone. He got to speak. Wait a minute. Hold on. Wait. Wait a second. I'm about to look this up right now. Tell me I'm right. Tell me this is right. Oh! Oh, shoot! Yes! Let's go! Come on! Let's go! He's gone! He's out of here! Get away! Let's go! Come on! Yes! Oh my gosh! Okay! All right! Yes! Finally! After years and years of pain and suffering, misery and strife, Malik Scott is gone! Thank the Lord! Woo! You know, give me my camera. Where's my camera? In fact, no. Forget. Take everything off. Take everything off. I don't care. Look, do you know? I want to be as clean as I can for this. Let me scoot in closer. Doggone it. Do you know? In fact, even better. Where's my son? Oh yeah. We doing this. I don't care. Look at me. Look at me in my face. Do you understand how long I have waited for this? Do you understand the absolute joy I have that Wilder is no longer with the likes of Malik Scott anymore? The gall to have this man for upwards of 4 fights, 3, however many it was, against every single contender. He's looked against every single big contender, and he's looked worse every time out. But there have been reports that Wilder had gone out of his way to be able to get himself right. Good. Thank the Lord he went that route, because this is part of getting yourself right, cutting off people, because this is what needed to happen. Thank goodness on everything. Thank gosh that this brother's gone. If I've ever wanted anything else, it was just for him to be gone. And we're here. We're here. We are actually here. I cannot believe it. I can't believe it. We are here. It's done. The potential pain is over. Oh my gosh. Huzzah. Huzzah. Joyous day. This is great. This is phenomenal. Oh, this is incredible. And again, I'm sorry. I just had to get myself, really invested and tuned in, because I I've been waiting on this for so long. I'm so sorry. This is great. Again and again. I'll show it again for those of you just tuning in. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, breaking news on the show itself. But Malik Scott is gone. He's gone. He's done. He's out of here. We're brothers, always will be brothers. We talk all the time. There's nothing bad between us. Sometimes things change, and this is one of those times. Well, doggone it, this should have changed 3 fights ago. Thank God, boy, brother, sister, whoever you are. My gosh. Oh, shoot. That made my day. Great day in the morning. That made my day. I'm so and again, I'm a Wilder. No. See, here's the thing. I like Wilder, absolutely. I love him. Who doesn't love Wilder from a standpoint? He's always exciting. If you've been following the channel, you know how much I have disdained Malik Scott being there. If he loses, that's fine. But if he loses because of a lack of legitimate change, that's where I have a problem with. Wilder refused to change in any way, shape, or form since this fight with Tyson Fury. Since his fight with Joseph Parker, he never changed. He was hard-headed. He fired the people around him that were actually good for him. And now he made the decision to actually move on, to go to potentially get somebody that is actually good. Now, I will say this. The fight's tomorrow. The fight is tomorrow. So what the word's going on if the fight is tomorrow? This is a great change. Absolutely. But the fight's tomorrow. So who the word's going? Do we know do we know who is Wilder's trainer now? Since Malik Scott is gone? Or are we still waiting for that? Hold on. Wait a minute. There we go. Yeah, just making sure. Yeah, just making sure we okay. Okay, yeah, but I'm serious. This is the question, because like the change is great, but it comes so soon. Again, this was 8 hours ago, but this was what, this morning, or potentially yesterday, however long 8 hours ago was. This is relatively soon. So we're saying, brother, what the world's going on? So we got some concerns. We do have some concerns. The good guys are trying to make sure I catch everybody. Yo, listen, move in. What's good with you, brother? How you doing? Thanks for tuning in to the show. Let me see what you got to say. Chavez Jr. looks ready and healthy, looks mentally in it. Hope we get a Chavez TKO. We're going to talk about that fight. Stick around. Give me 10 minutes. We're going to talk about that fight. We're going to talk about that fight. We're going to talk about that and so much more. Absolutely. Give me 1 second to finish this Wilder thing. And then we're going to talk about this, because, boy, I got some stuff to say about this fight with Jake Paul versus Chavez. Absolutely. But I'm going to tell you, movement isn't Paul much heavier than Jr. Yes, he is. Oh, we're going to talk about all of it. We're going to talk about the weight discrepancy, the mental preparedness on Chavez's side. What's next for Jake Paul? We're going to give me 10 minutes, and we're going to talk about all of that. Absolutely. And it's going to be insane, though. Let me see. I got Wilder, though. I do, too. Mind you, against Herndon, but who fought against Richard Torres Jr., another prospect, up-and-coming heavyweight. 11-0. I think 7 KOs. I think. See, 11-0, 9 KOs, or 11-0 with 7 KOs. One of the 2 records. But who wasn't an Olympian. Wasn't, again, Richard Torres, I don't value him that highly. Herndon was supposed to be a tomato can to be able to come in and help, bolster the image, get a phenomenal knockout, then bing, bang, boom, hype up the train. Wilder, Herndon is the same thing for Wilder, as Wilder is trying to get back in the saddle, get a spectacular, devastating KO, make it so that now you're back in the fray, hype up a fight with Anthony Joshua, hype up a fight with potentially the likes of the other greats in the division, maybe rematch the likes of what's his name? Joseph Parker. Maybe get a rematch with Joseph Parker off the backs of that knockout and looking potentially new and rejuvenated. Maybe get a fight with the likes of, let's see, Joseph Parker, not Usyk, not Dubois, Jared Anderson. We just talked about AJ versus Anderson. What would also be a good fight would be Anderson versus Wilder. To see, hey brother, are you really about this? Going up against a killer. Can you show up? And Wilder, can you be a still notable prospect in the contendership of the division? Yes, Jerry Anderson, he's no longer a prospect, but it's in the sense of he's just outside of that true championship contending status for a lot of people. If you can beat him, okay, we can help. This can give us confidence to say, okay, boom. He looks better off, and we can still get some big fights out of him, and potentially he can succeed. Give us some confidence, man. Let me see. Yeah, he is, but they're gonna be close in fight weight. We'll have to wait and see. Again, I'm gonna talk about it. We're gonna have this conversation in a little bit, absolutely. But let me go back and make sure I ain't missed nobody with the other chats. Let me see. Floyd's son. He didn't watch the fight. Glad the ending got lost, though, coming in with no motivation for the belt. Understandable. Paul versus Chavez of a Wilder fight from really? Well, the card is better. I'll say that. The card is better. The fight itself, I'm with Wilder because I'm now, especially now with Malik Scott, now I'm interested. Very, incredibly interested. But let me see. Assuming McCauley isn't fat and lazy off that rehab bread, he would destroy Fabio in 6. Like I said, he absolutely can. I just need to see a little. I gotta have some proof. For me, I gotta have some proof right now. Because what he did against F.A. Jabba doesn't give me that as much confidence as I would like for you to having concretely saying that he would dominate like some of Wardley if he fought against, for me, at least initially. You see, I'll go watch it, but if F.A. is gonna do his impression, yeah, man, I couldn't believe he was moving like that. Welch, it was a brutal beatdown. Fight of the year, Ken. I'm gonna have to go back and watch it. Shoot, my gosh. My goodness. I didn't get, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't get to see that fight. I knew he had lost, I didn't get to see that fight. I'm gonna go back and watch it. If it was, because apparently this was the fight that, brother, I should have been paying attention to. It slipped my mind. I'm so sorry. Oh my goodness. McCauley's arrogance is his biggest enemy. He doesn't watch opposing tapes. He doesn't take dieting seriously, but he has natural power, and you can't teach that. Yeah, you might be onto something there. Wilder fight is tomorrow on Tubi. If it's actually on Tubi, that's great. I don't exactly know where. It might as well be on Tubi because it ain't on a big network. Understand? I wish it was on Tubi. I ain't gonna lie, because I would actually love to see it. Absolutely, no question. I wish it was there, but oh boy, but that's funny. But let me say, I can't believe these fools put Wilder versus Herndon on pay-per-view. That's the thing. But see, Wilder's people, they will pay for it. That's why. Wilder's people, they will pay for that. His fans will still pay for it because it's still Deontay Wilder. He's got that fixture of family. So yeah, they can do it because his people will come out and actually pay. It should be on free TV. It should. It should be. This card should be on a free televised thing for the world to be able to. It should be. No question it should be. I wish it was. Man, I wish it was. But we're gonna have to. We got. Oh boy, we got a lot. There's a lot of questions surrounding what the bread around the fight as well as just as a whole. Is Wilder that big of a pay-per-view star anymore? Though he is still a big star. At this point, I think he's got to earn his way back to that level. Especially against this type of bum of an opponent. And I say that with all due respect. Herndon is a bum of an opponent. This should not be something we're paying $80, $90 for. 60, 50 bucks. We shouldn't even be paying $20 for this fight. Let's be real. Let's be honest. We should not be paying $20 for this fight. For me. In my estimation. But I like Wilder versus Big Baby Anderson a lot. See, that's a good fight. That's a good fight. It's a dangerous fight. It's a dangerous fight for Anderson more than anything. Wilder could still lose, hypothetically. But it's a proving ground for the likes of Anderson. And it is a litmus test for Wilder. Hey, brother, somebody that you should be able to put out. You should be able to put out. Can you? Because if you can't get Anderson out of That spells some big trouble for you in the real contendership chat. Don King Promotions is crazy work. Yeah, boy, don't get me started on Don King. Let me get off of this comment because I will go on a diatribe against that brother. That is a leech among leeches in this sport. I still can't believe he's still in this sport. I hate it. I despise it. But let me see. I just hope Junior lets his hands go, and this victory could mean a lot for his legacy. It could. It could. It really could. I want to see a Jabba versus Anderson. See, do I want to see a Jabba versus? That would be a good fight. That's not a fight I'm as high on, though. Ironically enough, I'm not as high on that fight, though. That would be a great fight to happen, and it would make sense to happen. I'm not high on it. Maybe it's because of what F.A. Jabba showed in his last fight, and that against a Jerry Anderson. I don't see him, if he fights like that, I don't see that making for a entertaining fight, as much of an entertaining fight as we may expect. But again, that's just me. I could be looking at it completely wrong, and if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'm not as high on that fight though. I'm more high on Anderson versus McCauley rematch. Anderson versus Wilder. But I respect it. This is a fight that makes sense. I think just for me, I'm not. It doesn't really, for a litmus test, perfect. It makes all the sense, and it's a fight that should happen. I'm not gonna lie. I'm just not as invested into it, just for me. It's just me personally. But let me see. Russell, yeah, we know he's got to do a lot Mexican, depending on him, to deliver Mexican style. Yep. Again, they're talking about the Jake Paul fight. Again, 5 minutes. We've been about to do it at 2:05, at least Eastern Standard Time. 2:05. How many? At an hour 20 into this show, we going into Jake Paul. Hour 20 minutes. We're at 1:16 right now. Hour 20. We going into the Jake Paul fight. So stay right here. Give me 4 minutes. Give me 4. Give me 4 minutes, and we're going to be there. Absolutely. I have paid for Wilder fights, and I saw him terminate Splitska and BK back in the days. I'm not paying for this. I'm not paying for this fight. I understand. I do understand. Movement, I'm still puzzled why he quit versus Jacobs. He was doing good. This is part of the whole litmus test with the likes of Chavez, man. It's a concern. It's a big concern. Don King has some treasure. No. I will not let Don King be. He's part of the reason Mike Tyson had the downfall that he did. He's part of the reason the other boxers have had their careers ruined. He is part of the reason why the sport has turned into what it was for years and years and years up until the recent changes. He has been a fixture in pain for this sport, as much of a figure. Now I ain't letting that brother go. I ain't letting that brother, that pineapple-looking brother, that pineapple-looking Negro, I'm telling you, look like he belonged, in the islands of Hawaii, with the spiky hair and all. I'm telling you, he's done wrong by so many people. The story, if Walls could talk, and if boxers have already talked, actually, shoot, let me rephrase that. Ask anybody about Don King. They will tell you this man is a problem. In the worst way. Absolutely. LR Vlogs, what's good with you? How you doing? Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in to the show. So glad that you're here right now. Wilder fighting someone that got beat by Richard Torres already. A prospect, yes he is. And it's a fight that, just like Torres, Wilder's trying to get put back on the map. This is a hype-up fight. He knocks him out, gets a highlight, bing, bang, boom, is able to get a big fight next. Most likely against Anthony Joshua. Potentially against Jerry Anderson. And potentially gets him put back into, around that top 20 level in boxing. Though he is getting well down the rung. But again, we're going to have to wait and see. We're excited for it, but we're going to have to wait and see. Let's see. Agreed, F.A. versus Anderson is a good fight, but lacks intrigue. Yes, it does, at least for me. And now we're at a minute 18. We're at a minute 18 onto the stream. At 120, we're going into Jake Paul. We're going, I'll repeat, at 120, we are going into the Jake Paul fight. But real quick, before I go into that fight, I just wanted to say this one thing about the likes of Deontay Wilder with a minute left. This is going, with Malik Scott gone, And with the likes of Herndon being an easy opponent, I need to ask you all, what do we expect to see now? Because the biggest thing about Wilder, with everything that Malik Scott essentially undid with what was the best part of him as a fighter, can he shake off those bad habits? And who is going to teach him now? Who is going to coach him now? Has his game plan, is it going to change all of a sudden? The biggest thing I just want to see from Wilder is if he just goes on the front foot. That's all I'm asking. Go on the front foot, fight like you used to fight, and be the man that used to be running the whole of the division. That's all I'm asking. Go through and fight in a manner that will make you be the best that you can be. Fight. Go back to spamming the jab straight. Go back to being reckless. But I need to see a semblance of the old Wilder. I got you now, because there's no more excuse now. Forget what Malik Scott was teaching you, because it wasn't working. Do what Mark Whelan taught you. Shoot, get Mark Whelan back in your corner if you can. Though we know you got bad blood and you shouldn't, because he did right by you. But if with him gone, everything that Malik Scott taught you better be out the window. And I better see what you did fighting in the past. And you really going for, you got to, because that's your only saving grace. Because you can't learn anything else. Because if you try to, it's going to mess you up and you're not going to be what you need to be. I'm telling you, this is a give me fight. So because it's a give me fight, that's supposed to be a given that he's going to win. Give me and the rest of the boxing public the old Wilder that just goes in and making a mess. That's all I'm asking. Go win and make a mess. Go win and run amok. Do what you do. Because if you don't, I promise you, there is still a cause for an upset in this fight that can happen. Which is insane. There is still a cause for an upset. It's so possible. Herndon could potentially beat Wilder if it's Wilder looking like Wilder right now. I don't care how unlikely it is. It's possible. Because Wilder right now is nothing like what we need to see. There's no confidence. None. I need to see that grow. And I need to see him shake off that rust just one time. Revert back to what you used to be. Because you're going to have to. This is one of the ironic situations where Wilder's going to have to regress to progress. Regress back to what you used to be against the likes of the early days of the first fight with Tyson Fury. Regress to what you did against Burns to Burn. Go back to that. That's the only way you're going to move forward. That's the only way you're going to be, at this point in time, that's the only way you're going to be able to beat. Excuse me. Let me slow down. At this point in time, that's the only way you're going to be able to beat the likes of Anthony Joshua if you really want to be about winning. Jared Anderson, if you want to be about getting back to the contending status. That's the only way. It's the only way you're going to be able to do it. And so, yeah, so at least that's my 2 cents on it. The intrigue in seeing a good match, making very good fights. The intrigue is seeing good matchmaking. Very few fights capture any intrigue. Okay, I can respect that. Intrigue is Charlo versus Plant because of the slap. Okay. Hey, intrigue is to see if Herndon will take a dive. Hey, shoot, he might take a dive. My gosh. Lord. I completely forgot about it. He might take a dive for the money. Who knows? Or he might actually try. Who knows? All we know is Wilder, with Malik Scott gone, show us something. You got to. You got to show us something. You need to. Or like I said before, it's going to be done and over. Done and away with. And no more comeback story. Because I'm not going to want to see you in the ring for your own health anymore. Because it can be bad. Oh, it can be really bad. Mario versus Mosley. Yeah. Oh, I remember that. I remember that when he disrespected his wife. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So that's entry. Yeah. We. That is something of intrigue. You right about that. That would qualify as intrigue versus straight up good matchmaking. So I understand that. Let me see. A Plant versus Charlo must happen. They can't let that fight slip through the cracks. And with Charlo winning and Plant losing, it hurt. Fight still needs to happen, but it did hurt. It did hurt. It did hurt absolutely. if you want to go the safest route, Charlo fights and beats Rescindes, hypothetically. Then goes after Charlo. Beat the buddy that beat Plant, and then boom, go after Plant. Because if Plant loses again, Plant can't afford to lose. If he wants this fight to really be still happening, that's my biggest thing. And Charlo, if he does fight, I would just fight with Rescindes. Because it makes sense. That if both of them won, they were going to fight each other. Plant lost. Okay. Plant, put him in Charlo. Good matchmaking. Make for a good fight. Charlo, if he wins, great. Now you go fight Caleb Plant. Hey, buddy, now I'm a bigger threat. What you going to do now? And so I don't want to see it. I was so happy when Shane finally got hold of Ricardo. Yeah, that was satisfying for a lot of people. It indeed was. But again, we said we're gonna go to Jake Paul. We're gonna go to Jake Paul. We changing gears. We're moving. We are moving on. I want to keep on talking, but we got to move on. We got to keep with what we said we were going to do. So Chavez versus Paul. Let me make sure I got the title centered. I want to make it, kind of keep this as professional as can be. There we go. All right, I think we're looking good. But yeah, Chavez versus Paul is here. It's time. We're ready, willing, and able. Again, like I said, I don't want to talk about it. I don't like Jake Paul. I don't like him at all. I don't like this fight. I don't like anything about it in terms of this specific type of spectacle involving him, because I can't stand what he has been doing individually. But still, this is a fight that has a lot of people having some eyes on it, because we will say this, though this is still the wrong type of fight that should happen for Jake Paul. This is the most, outside of Tommy Fury, this is the most quote unquote respected fighter from the standpoint of, he's fought more respected people. Let me rephrase it, because he's fought Tyson and Silva. They were all just old, out of their prime, and either had not been fighting in a while, or were too old to do anything, like with Mike Tyson. So, this fight, arguably the most game opponent that he has faced off against from the standpoint of age, experience, and physical ability, that is not weighing him down. Well, at least not nearly as much as other fights have done. I still hate it. I hate it. But regardless of which, who y'all got winning? Hey, let's open the floodgates. Who y'all got winning? Jake Paul or Chavez? Do we think Jake Paul's going to pull this out again? Or are we going to see that Chavez Jr. actually takes this fight and ends this whole abysmal situation of a run of fights that I just hate and despise having to have get in front of my eyes on a consistent basis? I want to hear from you. Who do y'all got winning this fight? Because I'll break it down absolutely, but Lord knows, shoot, boy, I don't. I hate that this happened. But let me see. Move, man. Let me see what you got to say now that we're here with this fight with Jake Paul. Jake is going to gas out. You have to put relentless pressure on him, cut off the ring, jab him to death, and make his butt think like a real boxer, which he isn't. Now, you are right. You're absolutely right. His gas tank has always been his worst weapon. His stamina has always been his worst weapon. But the issue is doing that against somebody who's doing that when you are always outmatching somebody in weight gives you a lot more leeway to be able to be successful. He has, now again, the only on his level boxer that he's fought against from the standpoint of talent for talent, with age and everything else also in the same vein, was Tommy Fury. And he got outboxed in that fight. He's turned into a better boxer since then, slightly. But still, it's bad. It's horrible. He's not good. What we need to see Chavez do, like you say, stay in front of him. Like you say, be able to be relentless. Attack the body. No, wrong button. Please attack the body. Go downstairs for 6 rounds and do damage. But at the same time, you got to be defensively responsible. which most of the opponents that Jake Paul has faced, outside of, again, a Mike Tyson, outside of an Anderson Silva, who, if he didn't get caught with that one punch that put him off balance and knocked him down, he would have won that fight. But outside of very few situations, again, I bring up Mike Tyson because Mike Tyson didn't make him miss more than most of his other opponents. It was just he didn't have the legs to actually be able to capitalize on the countering windows when he moved his head and slipped out the way of what Jake Paul was throwing. And Jake Paul was able to just use his jab and score from the outside because Mike Tyson's legs were gone. We've covered this on multiple occasions. But regardless, this game plan right here is exactly what I would say. Absolutely. The only issue is the weight discrepancy of doing that without the defensive ability to not get caught can put you in some real trouble, especially when Jake Paul is going to have potentially upwards of 10 pounds on him. If Chavez is coming up in weight, sure, that's fine, but he's naturally 160, maybe 168 at his best physically, if you want to see how far he can go. But he's nowhere close to a 190 pounder. Nowhere close. The fact he's moving up there is a danger. It's a big danger. He's not naturally there. Jake Paul's going to come into this fight at upwards of 210, 220 even. He came into the Mike Tyson fight 230. He can get up there. It's still a mismatch. And the weight of the unknown because of Jake Paul's inability, because of Chavez's inability to stay disciplined for all of the championships that he's won in the past. The biggest problem is that he's not dedicated. All those skill sets that we think he should have, he doesn't use because he can't keep them in place. He doesn't. There's no confidence in Chavez because he's been in and out of rehab for upwards of 10 years. He has been undisciplined in this sport. He has given away opportunities that he should have be able to capitalize on and win. He has lost to Anderson Silva. Don't forget that. Earlier in Silva's boxing tenure than when Jake Paul fought him. He lost to him. I don't have any confidence because I don't see Chavez as being dedicated in this sport like he should be. If Chavez was dedicated and at this same age, yes, I would pick him absolutely, no question. I would say, yeah, no, Jake Paul, you don't got a shot. If it was a driven Chavez, a dedicated Chavez, a relentless work ethic Chavez. This isn't that. We haven't had that type of Chavez in upwards of 10 years. There's no confidence because the brother ain't there. So because of that alone, that's why Jake Paul chose this fight. Because he knows Chavez has been so in and out of this sport that though this is the quote-unquote best boxer, actual boxer, that he's faced off against from a standpoint of everything taken into account, ability, age, experience, and genuine youth, relative youth to what we see with Jake Paul. The dedication is so up, the dedication is so sporadic. We don't know. We really don't know. Again, we saw this brother, like somebody brought it up earlier. We saw this man quit to Danny Jacobs. I forget who was. Somebody brought it up in the chat. Chavez quit against Danny Jacobs, who he was actually doing good work against. So I don't understand what we can see from this brother now, trying to get all this golding back. And if he gets knocked out by Jake Paul, oh my gosh. That's horrible. That further puts his legacy in the dirt. And most of the other stuff that he was doing, he put his own legacy in the dirt. So it's really frustrating. Oh Lord, I can't take it. I can't take it. I really can't take it. Let me see. Let's see. What's the case? Were you able to show clips? People saying Chavez looks good in training camp. I can find them. I can see if I can find them. I need to. We can. Let me see if I can find them. I didn't have any clips, mind you. This was more so. I'm not gonna lie. I had to add the Jake Paul bit later on, for the sake of time as closeness to the show, And so, but yeah, I'll pull up. Here's some training of him right now, so that you can see. For those of you listening to the podcast, so you can see exactly what's going on. This is some training with Chavez Jr. This is what he looks like in the gym. And we can look. You can see, like the style. You see the style taught by Chavez Sr. You see again the body attack. You see the combinations, but at the same time,
only on the zone, June 28th.
There's something that is lacking, and what's lacking is speed and sharpness. Now it could be because it's pad work and bad work. Maybe it's at the end of training. Maybe it's at the beginning of training. I can't say for certain. That can sometimes mitigate what the highlights may look like. And it might have been sharper in the middle or earlier before some of these clips were done. But regardless of which, he's looking strong. I can see the strength aspect, maybe. But sharp, I can't say that for certain. I can't say that for, again, from my perspective, but I can't say that for certain that he's looking sharp in this fight. At least not for me. Because I'll tell you this, he's somewhat looking kind of slow. Some of those combinations, those same punch combinations, whether it's body head or body, the flow, maybe it's because of pad work, but it's not looking at least from that clip, it ain't looking like I would want it to look going up against the likes of Jake Paul. Especially understanding what you need to bring to the table. And knowing what Paul has done against other opponents, there is some concern. I can't lie. I can't lie at all. And so let me see. Let me see what people have to say. Good God, wait a minute. Oh, shoot. Hold on, Rusty. I'm sorry, Rusty. I'm 200 feet in the air. Oh, shoot. Waiting on Crank. Good gosh, brother. Oh, Lord. J Riggs, you all right? You gonna be okay? Be safe, please. Lord, please be safe. Please be careful. Absolutely. My gosh, I did not know that. It's all good as long as you don't sightsee and stay working. It's not as bad as you think. Well, hey, look, hopefully I can keep you focused. And hopefully I'm not going through and making you go awry with what's going on. We'll help take your mind off the work and help take your mind off the heights. And we'll keep you entertained right now. Some people say Paul beat Fury. I didn't see it. No, he didn't beat. He didn't beat Tyson Fury. He didn't. Tommy Fury. He did not. I don't know who's saying that Paul beat Tommy Fury. Might be because of that knockdown. But them the same people that are saying that Wilder beat Tyson Fury the first time, when he didn't beat Tyson Fury, though he got 2 knockdowns. No, that did not happen. Jake Paul lost to Tommy Fury. Absolutely. And he deserved to lose against Tommy Fury, even with the knockdown. So I don't know why people are saying that. Now we can say he's turned into a better boxer since then. He's still not great, but he's better. But sadly, we have to respect the skills that he has now actively garnered. But it's not. No, sir, he did not win that fight. Let me see. Soul Rebel, what's good with you? How you doing? Thanks for tuning into the show. I'm sorry, if you were here earlier, I am so sorry. I am not trying to miss people. I apologize. Let me get through these chats really quickly. Actual boxing talk from passion. Hey, man, that's what we like to do. We do boxing, we do basketball, we do sports. We do it all right here on the Welch Report every Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. We're not going to be on Friday, but hey, if you like what you're hearing, leave a like on the stream. Go ahead, get the likes up on the stream to help get people involved with the whole of the conversation. We love this. We need this. We appreciate this. Absolutely. And hey, subscribe if you haven't already. If you want to support the show, also, please, we ain't got super chats yet. We're getting close to it. 200 hours away. Watch time. We're going to get to it. If you want to support the show and you want to give, please, Cash App, PayPal, links in the description as well. We appreciate it. If you do send something, just say it in the chat and say how much you sent. I can verify it on the respective platforms. And then boom, I can give you a shout out. Absolutely. And I know it's cumbersome. I know, but it's what we got right now. So it's my job right now. So I got to do what I got to do. But we appreciate it nonetheless. And we're glad that you are here. Oh, so much. We appreciate it. Absolutely. Exactly. He has to use that Chavez Senior body attack. He does. He really does. Now, Little Fury, took that one back. Yeah, he did. Absolutely, he did. No question about it. Let's see. Love King, how you doing? Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. Jake by KO. I think you're gonna be right, and I don't want to be right. I don't want you to be right, but I think you might be right about this. I'm talking through my teeth because I don't want it to be right. I don't want it. Ooh, I don't want it. Not at all. Not at all. I don't want this at all. But you might be right. We could see Jake Paul by KO. I can see that. I can see that, King, because Chavez looked terrible in his exhibitions. Yeah, absolutely. It can be back. I'll go Chavez Jr., but I really don't like him. He should have the skills to pay the bills, brother. He should. This he's an actual former champion. He's been in the ring against some of the better boxers of his era. I just am so frustrated because the weight discrepancy. Again, Jake Paul's not fighting somebody that is on his weight class and around his age and experience that is conducive to where Jake Paul is at in his career. We've talked about the timeline that Jake Paul's trying to go through to get one last big payday and then retire. That's what he's looking to do. The ultimate goal is Canelo, or one of the bigger, more recognized heavyweight champions. Lose, get knocked out, and then say, okay, I'm done. I accomplished everything I did in the sport. I did what you all said I would never be able to do. Ha ha ha. That's what he wants. That's what he wants. I hate it, but that's what he wants. And so it's so frustrating. I mean, he's 2 years clean. So hopefully that translates to the ring with the skills. He looks ready though mentally. If he is, phenomenal. If he is, incredible. It's an understood concern because of what he has not shown. We're glad he got himself right, but even still, getting yourself right and being prepared are two different things. Because Wilder, perfect example. Wilder got himself right with getting rid of Malik Scott, taking time out, doing what he's got to do to get his mentals prepped. But being prepared against Hearn Dawn and potentially the likes of Anthony Joshua or Jared Anderson, those are two completely different things. It's not. You now you're in a position where everything can be properly curated to make it so that you can do what you need to do. But still, you're just ready to receive the ability to be the best you can be. But you're not the best you can be yet because you're not prepared. So even if he got himself right up here, I love it. But it is the up and down nature of his discipline inside training that he's still playing a game of catch up from the standpoint of where he should be with his boxing ability. Because to a degree, he's neglected it for oh so long. That's where the concern comes from, at least for me. And I want to see it come to fruition. I hope I'm wrong. I really do. I just really don't know. That's the thing. I just don't know. It's the most concerning thing. I just don't know. And because I just don't know, against Jake Paul, who I have, as much as I despise him as a boxer, he's been, as a person, he ain't that great either. But, no, I don't want to hate anybody. But as a boxer, dislike him to kingdom come. I hate him as a boxer. I dislike him as a person. I try not to hate anybody. But, brother, he's at least been prepared and has been continually in the ring, in the gym, in the ring for upwards of 67 years now. So it's like, Chavez, I can't say that for certain. That's what's frustrating. That's the thing. That's the thing. The dedication. Ironically enough, Jake Paul has shown more dedication to the sport of recent than Chavez. That's what I'm scared for. Let me see. Just frustrating that his lack of heart and desire, just frustrated with his lack of heart and desire in his heyday might be a little unfair. No, it's not unfair. It's not unfair. It's not unfair at all. Because he did it to himself. He did it to himself. That's the thing. This isn't a situation where he got, robbed of an opportunity or unfairly was criticized. He did it to himself. So you not liking it for that. In terms of like you let yourself go for your own personal reason. Like that's problematic. I see a monster ready to spark out Paul. I hope you're right. I hope you're right. Good gosh. I really do. I really, really do. Let me see. Oh, 1 round. What's going on, brother? How you doing? Thanks for tuning into the show. Appreciate you tuning in. And let me see what you got to say. Paul barely won against the 48-year-old Anderson by split decision. Yeah, you're right. You're right. But that Anderson beat Chavez Jr. That Anderson beat Chavez Jr. And again, it might have been by the skin of his teeth, but Paul beat him. We don't do triangle theory either. But if Chavez is on his A game, he should have been able to beat or at least have a more competitive fight than he did with Anderson Silva, let alone with Jake Paul. Now with a genuinely respectable skill set that Jake Paul has to offer, Chavez, he's got the know-how. It's the physical ability that I'm concerned about. And it's the speed. That's another thing. The speed of when he comes in on the inside. And the defense to get on the inside. Especially with you being outclassed from the standpoint of naturally Jake Paul is going to be bigger in this fight, even if they are weighing in with the same weight. I am in a real dilemma. I'm in a real dilemma. Because there's too many unstable elements with the weight discrepancy, with the concerns of the mental discipline, with the concerns of the hand speed that I still don't have a lot of faith in with Chavez. Looking at tape right now, I'm concerned. I really am concerned. I can't lie. When's the last time Chavez was in the ring? Last time Chavez was in the ring was, if we're going to go with professionally, let me see. If we're gonna go with professionally, Chavez Jr., his last outing in the ring was against. Was it? No, it wasn't Daniel Jacobs, was it? It was against Uriah Hall. Wait, hold on. Time out. It was. Yep, I thought so. It was against UFC fighter Uriah Hall, who was 1-1, and he won by unanimous decision. Before that, he fought against David Zagra, 35, 13-1. Had some good power. Fought at cruiserweight. Was at cruiserweight, but it was, that was 2021. So his last fight professionally was 2024 against Uriah Hall in a sanctioned fight that he won. So I'm like, it's like I said, you beating a UFC fighter at this stage with Jake Paul is not a good indicator of whether or not you can beat Jake Paul, at least for me. Because now we know Jake Paul has cleared that UFC tier when it comes to boxing and who can actually get in the ring with you and be successful against you. The standard of what needs to happen with Jake Paul, who he needs to fight, it's been elevated, absolutely. Let's see, I don't really know anything about him outside the sport. Okay, understandable. Let's see, let me see. I'm still reading. I know you've seen the video of him. I have not seen. I haven't seen this video. I don't know. I don't know this video. I'm scared to look it up. Again, I've been scarred already with. I've already been scarred with the likes of Oscar De La Hoya making his picks for this Jake Paul card. I don't want to look up anything else because I ain't about to have that happen to me. Oh Lord, I do not want to have that be another conversation. Right there, you are all absolutely. The UFC got Hall. Yep, you are all right. Somebody here said the fight night they will be similar in weight. I'm not so sure. They will be weighing in the same at 190 pounds. Jake Paul will be bigger, I guarantee you. On fight night, Jake Paul will be pushing upwards of 210, 220. Chavez might crack 200. But Jake Paul's going to be comfortably within that 210 to 220 range. I guarantee you, that's what's going to happen. I promise you it's going to happen. Watch Chavez quit and everyone just throw things in the ring like the Jacobs fight. See? Here's the thing. Wait, Chavez, what faith do we have that Chavez is going to show up, put up, and shut up in this fight outside of the stigma of what we should see happening? We cannot go off of his fight with Danny Jacobs. That's the issue. We cannot go off of his fight with Danny Jacobs. We cannot go off of his fight when he won the title. We can't go off of that. If you do go off of that, you're gonna be sorely disappointed. If you go off of his past performances when he was at his best, you are going to be disappointed. You are going to be incredibly disheartened. You are going to be so frustrated. You are going to be shocked. And it's a real concern. It's a real concern. It's a huge concern that I do not like at all. I can't stand it. It's so frustrating. But it's the truth. Also, did want to also, let me see what you had to say. As Oscar did clap back, Oscar did the clapback thing and talk mess about Bud and Canelo eating together, kind of saying it's gay, but that's coming from a guy who wears, thongs and fishnets, and it's like, again, culturally, not even culturally. Turkey's had other people come to his house. Turkey's had other big fights come together and eat when discussing the deal or finalizing it. So it ain't like it's something new. Culturally, that's also a part of what they do as well. And so, and again, I'm not trying to be somebody who is riding for Turkey Al Sheik or trying to have some favoritism or anything like that. We don't do that here. But like I've said countless times, looking at what Turkey does and looking at the amount of ridicule that comes against it, it seems to be that a lot of promoters or a lot of people that are going out and trying to talk against Turkey are trying to use either incredibly, how do I say this? They're trying to use either stereotypes, homophobia, or outright xenophobia as means to speak against what's going on. Blood money conversations, sports washing for the country, stuff with, turban boys or cap boys, things of that nature, kissing the ring and all this type of stuff. None of that's what's going on, which is so frustrating. And again, I'm not trying to ride. We're trying to be honest. With stuff like this, Oscar De La Hoya, some other promoters also, and fighters as well, it's frustrating because, like, Turkey is genuinely giving the fights that fans have been saying we want to see happen. Turkey we just saw with the Brian Norman thing, Turkey Al Sheik went to Brian Norman and said, do you want Haney? And then went to Haney and said, do you want Norman? He tried to make that fight happen. He made Bivol better be it. He's the only reason that we got Usyk versus Fury 1 and 2, because nobody was even going to try to sniff what Tyson Fury was going to ask for with money. I'm not trying to be just he's a sellout or he's paid off, but I ain't paid by nobody. I'm trying to make money now. I'm broke. I'm trying to make money now. This ain't about me trying to favor one side of the fence. And if I was getting paid, it still wouldn't change. I'm going to say what needs to be said. This is we try to be an unbiased channel to tell the timeline of this sport properly as much as we can, because that's what you all deserve. And everything that we've been seeing is this man only making the fights that we have been saying we want to make happen. If you are at the top, fight the top. And if you lose, okay, get up and fight again. Everything that we've been saying, one loss doesn't make or break a fighter. Fighters need to have a more consistent level of getting opportunities against top contenders. We need to see the actual cream of the crop rise to the top. To quote Macho Man, Randy Savage. Oh yeah. But we want to see that. And he's making that possible. And he's putting together these types of things. And it's great. And so I don't get the detractions. Some degree seems like fear of competition. Because if they were doing this, if promoters were actually doing what they were supposed to do, Turkey would not exist. If promoters were actually promoting and matchmaking like they should be, Turkey Al Sheikh would be non-existent. That's the thing. He wouldn't be existent. Because we would already have the consistency in the sport that would be worthy of people caring about the sport. Now, you wouldn't need to revitalize stuff because it would have already been revitalized by the Al Haymans, by the Bob Arams, the Matchrooms, all of them. It would have already happened. But they drug their feet. And we said somebody's going to come along and potentially sweep all of y'all if you ain't careful, because you're going to shoot yourself in the foot. Now we see that it's exactly what happened. Exactly what happened. Let me see. We got Tevin Farmer. Oh, yeah, when you talk about the rest of the card. Oh, hold on. Wait, I almost forgot. When you talk about the rest of the card, forget just Jake Paul and Chavez, which I must say I got Jake Paul winning. Sadly, I got Jake Paul winning. And if Chavez shocks me and destroys him, all the better. But we need to talk about the rest of the card that's going on right now, because it's going to be a very stacked card. Don't forget, we got the likes of, and I'll pull it up right here. We got, who is it? Holly Holm coming back against Vega. We got Ramirez going up against the likes of excuse me. We got Ceruto, Gabriel Ramirez coming back in fighting. Is it I'm trying to remember. Is Tevin Farmer and Kid Austin, are they fighting on this card or is it the card before? Is another one. Let me verify. I know it's this weekend. Let me see. Let me look it up real quick so I got the date right. Tevin Farmer versus Kid Austin card. Let me pull it up right now. Is it on the same card? Is it on the same card? Okay, so it is on the same. Okay, all right. So shoot, I'm sorry. I guess the card I hadn't updated yet. But yeah, they're going. So it's on the same card. Tevin Farmer versus Floyd Schofield. Schofield was going to fight the likes of Shakur Stevenson before pulling out. Supposedly was also going to fight Abdullah Mason before pulling out that deal with another deal. Now going to fight against Tevin Farmer, and I am very concerned for Kid Austin. Hey, I'm concerned. If there's anybody who is a Floyd Schofield fan, brother, going up against Tevin Farmer, ooh, you better watch out. You better watch out. Brother, I got Tevin Farmer winning. I truly do. I got Farmer winning. Mike, Floyd Schofield should be fighting this caliber of competition now. He should be. He's at that level. But as a talent, against Tevin Farmer specifically, I have my doubts. I got my doubts. Now again, we talked about Schofield versus Shakur. That would be a great fight that we all felt Schofield would win. But both of them should be in the ring against each other. Absolutely. I said he would absolutely lose that fight, but still would be a great fight and a great test for both guys. Physicality and power versus, again, technique and defense in Schofield versus Shakur. Now, this is the brother who he's slick, but brother, he can go to war with you too. He can take a punch as well. And and don't forget, he may not gas out. Schofield, he'll make mistakes. He'll swing wildly. He will put himself in a position not just to get countered, but to get hurt. But to get hurt bad. Schofield can be outthunk or outthought. Schofield can be trapped and set up for shots. Because Tevin Farmer, brother, I'm telling you, he's like that. Yo, Dub Right Side, what's good with you? How you doing? Thanks for tuning in to the show. Please leave a like on the stream. Go ahead. Leave a like on the stream. We're talking about the Jake Paul card, and we just got on Jake Paul versus Chavez. Still want to hear from you. We're going with the rest of the card as well, like with Schofield versus Devin Farmer, which is happening on that same card. But please, leave a like on the stream. Subscribe if you haven't already. Share the show with everybody you can, so we can keep on building up this empire together. And also, if you want to support the show, we ain't got super chats yet. Getting close, 200 hours away, watch time wise. But if you want, Cash App, PayPal, links in the description as well. If you want to support and give to the channel and help keep the lights on, help us invest back into the show, it would mean the world to me if you helped us out. Absolutely. But I digress. Right now, we're talking about Farmer versus Schofield, and I think Farmer's going to win this fight. I really do. I really do. I really do. I truly do. Because I love Schofield. I love his talent. I love his power. I do. But there are some things that Devin Farmer has in his tool belt that I don't think Schofield is prepared for. I truly don't. And I'm not gonna lie, it might not be as competitive as we may think. I might be wrong. I could absolutely be wrong. But when it comes to Schofield versus Farmer, brother, this right here, they might rob Tevin again. They could, for the sake of hypothetically, for the sake of keeping the aura of Schofield alive, if it is indeed a close fight, and to set up for a fight with Shakur Stevenson down the line, potentially next, hypothetically, if he does in fact pull off this victory. But boy, Devin Farmer is such a underrated, but such a good quality fighter. He's such a good quality. If you watch both of his fights with Zepeda, especially his second one, if you see the defense that this brother has with his hands down against outright offense, that was still coming in clean, still getting out clean, still doing great work, and he might be injured in that fight as well, I can't remember. But like Schofield, he's never seen something like that before. He's never seen somebody like that who is able to be that defensively adept and still be offensively, I can match you and I can overwhelm you. I can, with my hands down, I can slip 3-4 punches and then boom, jab, uppercut, get out the way. Boom, straight right, get out the way. Double jab, boom, hook, get out there. And all of a sudden, I'm here, there, and everywhere. Off the back foot. Let alone if I'm coming forward. He's a menace. He's a monster. As a quality fighter, he's a dog. Again, Doug Ringside, you're right. Brother, he's a dog. He's a dog. He can take a punch. He can go 12. He can go 15 if the rounds were that long. He's got gas tanks for days. He's got phenomenal offense that he can box and brawl. He can be slick and sit in the pocket. He can be slick while sitting in the pocket. But he can set traps, and then also if he gets trapped, he can adapt. He can use the ropes. He can use the ring. He can use head movement or use great blocking or use both in combination. He's everything you want in a warrior of a fighter. And he's got so many different skills that are so, again, he does a lot of the small stuff right in boxing. Like we always say, what makes for a great fighter isn't just the big stuff, ain't just the power, ain't just the size, ain't just the, I got a great chin, ain't just the physicality. It is these little things, the small stuff in boxing, the nuances in boxing that help curate great fighters, great skill sets, great warriors. That's what Devin Farmer's got. I'm so serious. He's got that. And Schofield, he's in for a rude awakening with this fight. I'm not saying he can't win. I'm not. If he pulls it out, phenomenal. I understand it. This is also the litmus test that he should be on. He's got, 23 fights in his career? Yeah, it's time to start fighting people that are of this elite or contending caliber. We want to see this. This is the right road for Schofield. But it's a road he can easily lose. Because as much as he should be there, there's something that tells me he as a boxer, still got some stuff to learn. He still got some stuff to grow. He ain't nearly as adept as what we see with Abdullah Mason as he's evolved in his career. He ain't nowhere close to that. And so going up against now a fighter who brother would give even Abdullah Mason some great work. There's some concern. There's some concern. I'm telling you, there's some concern. And so, let's see. But let me see. Gritty, tough, skillful, but he's not winning on the card. Oh, really? The machine golden boys behind Kid Austin. That's the biggest thing. If Schofield does lose this, and again, I normally don't get into the whole, corruption. We know it exists. We know it's apparent. Corruption in boxing, corruption in sports, absolutely. We fully recognize that completely. I try not to delve into it so much because it can lead into a lot of other conspiracy theories that aren't true, but leads a lot of people astray. We don't deal with that. We try to keep it on the up and up. But there is a real concern that we could see this man robbed of an actual victory if he does, in fact, pull off what should be a great win. If he does indeed deserve the win. But it is a competitive fight. If they value big punch or big punches over all of the nuanced work that Tevin Farmer can do and will do in this fight, it's going to be bad. Now, we could also see that they can't give a decision to Schofield because he outboxes him in the Kingdom Cup. Let's not forget that. We could see where I'm expecting this to be close. This could very well be that we see Schofield get completely destroyed by Tevin Farmer. That's not out of the question in the slightest. Not out of the question at all. We could see Schofield get completely outclassed. We could see that brother get outmatched. We could see that brother get done away with. We could. We could. Because he's still growing. And to some degree, some people say that his talent isn't up to the level that we feel it should be right now as a fighter, hypothetically, from the standpoint of the accelerated growth of his peers like Abdullah Mason, Keyshawn Davis even. This is entirely a possibility that could become reality. That Schofield can completely get outmatched, outclassed, and potentially, but I dare say potentially stopped because of the consistent onslaught that we see Tevin Farmer bring to the table. And just all of a sudden Schofield is just, there's nothing he can do, hypothetically. And I wouldn't bring this up if I didn't understand, brother, just how good Tevin Farmer really is. He's a menace. So I'm not gonna lie, I got him winning this fight. I truly do. If I was to pick anybody, I got him winning this fight. And I'm going to say it by unanimous decision. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Great. But if I'm right, just know. Just know. Just know, boy. Tevin Farmer can make Schofield look like a fool. He can make him look like a fool. And Tevin Farmer can single-handedly stop any momentum of Schofield versus Abdullah Mason. He can stop it in his tracks. He can stop. He can stop all that noise. If he beats Schofield the way that I deep down really believe he's going to beat him, he can stop all that noise with Schofield versus Abdullah Mason. Because I promise you, if we see Schofield lose in that type of dominating fashion to Tevin Farmer, who is a great fighter, you can nip that in the butt with him fighting against Schofield and him having a chance. Oh no, he gets destroyed. He gets destroyed. This performance with Schofield versus Tevin Farmer is going to dictate for me my opinion on Schofield versus Abdullah Mason. Now, if he puts on a good performance and still loses, okay, we can still have a conversation. We can still, again, it's not just the result, it's the performance in the result, what you do. Completely understand it. But if he gets dominated, we can nix all that talk. We can nix all that. Listen, all that plus Kid Austin ain't fought in a minute. Yes, he has not. Lord, he hasn't. Brother, he's been out the ring. It's been what, since early last year that he's been in the ring? That was the last time that he fought. I was shocked. And again, we thought it was going to be earlier because of the fight, seemingly, with Shakur Stevenson. But now that fight got put on the shelf because they went another way, and with Abdullah Mason, also getting put on the shelf because they went another way, stupidly in my opinion. You and dare I say you and your dad are putting yourself in a bad way. You're putting yourself in a bad way to get your career where it needs to be. I don't like saying that, but it's, man, his last fight was what? November 2nd was the last fight. And so it's been, what, November 2nd, December, January, February, March, April, May, June, July. It's been about what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, roughly 8 months. Almost a year. And so it's a, since his first fight since last year, mind you, we normally see people fighting 2 times a year. It's almost halfway through the year, and he's having his first fight of the year. That's problematic. Lo and behold, and again, I don't want to keep bringing this up, but we have to. On the flip side of this whole argument of inactivity, Inoue is about to have potentially his 3rd and 4th fight, which is ridiculous. Going up against the likes of MJ, Akhmadali, and then afterwards potentially fighting Alan Picasso early next year on a Japanese versus Mexican all affair, or all Japanese versus Japan versus Mexico war of a card. That's what Turkey Al-Sheikh also said he wants to put on. And if there was any card to pay for, that's wonderful. I guarantee you, if you ever wanted to see a fight for 6 hours, go watch that. You will never be, there will not be a fight on that card that won't be that will disappoint. I promise you. I promise you. It's gonna be great. Yo, Miss Queen, what's going on with you? How you doing? Thanks for tuning in to the show. I got Brian Norman over Devin Haney. I do too. Only thing is, that fight's no longer happening. It's no longer happening. That fight's off. It's off because, like we covered earlier, Bill Haney ducked Brian Norman. Brian Norman, the Turkey Al-Sheikh went to Brian Norman. Again, just quick recap for those of you just coming in. Brian Norman versus Devin Haney was verbally agreed to, and now it's completely off the table. No longer happening. Here's how the timeline goes. Turkey Al-Sheikh went to Brian Norman. Do you want to fight Devin Haney? Brian Norman and his team said yes. Went to Devin Haney and Bill Haney. Do y'all want to fight Brian Norman? They said yes. Seemingly, they both agree. Bill Haney comes out perfectly and says, hey, Norman versus Haney is happening this November. Saudi Arabia. Then, come to find out, it ain't happening at all. And Bill Haney has not agreed to anything. And ain't nothing been signed. Norman and his crew already, they're signed, they're waiting. Bill Haney backed out and is saying that the fight, that they're not ready for it yet. But talked all the smack of, we can fight anybody and everybody. And we publicly went and said the fight's going on. And Bill Haney tried to make it seem like they were chasing Brian Norman, when in actuality, Norman was chasing them. And Bill stepped away. Problematic. Very much so. Just as a quick recap. That fight's no longer happening, just so you know. But as we continue to go through, let's see. Yeah, true. Yeah, he ain't fought in a minute. He ain't fought in a long time. Almost a year. So where is the consistency of being able to not, especially if you're going up against Tevin Farmer and you got ring rust? Oh my gosh. Oh Lord. Oh Lord. Oh my gosh. Oh shoot.
We got some problems here.
If you're going up against Tevin Farmer and you got ring rust on your mind, oh, that's a dangerous recipe. That's a recipe for disaster. That's a recipe to get your butt whooped. That's a recipe to get destroyed. That's a recipe to be saying, brother, I'm not built for this. This ain't just some Joe Schmo. But this is one of the most relentless fighters in the division. Going at it, being able to be one of the more not just staple fighters in the division, but being able to be genuinely one of the more dangerous and complete fighters that this division has to offer. You can't go and just brother, you need some level of consistency. And I'm not gonna lie, with how more so how his father has been talking. I don't know if his father has prepped him for the level of real work that's going to come his way against the likes of Tevin Farmer. I don't. When it comes to Schofield versus Farmer, I really don't think that Schofield Sr., as a coach and trainer and mouthpiece, really is prepped to understand what you're getting into when you're going against Tevin Farmer. I don't think so. I dare say, and again, I'm not trying to paint any dispersions, but it's a real concern. I'm scared that Schofield's going to be underprepared for this fight with Farmer. I'm scared. I'm really scared. I'm scared we're going to see this brother go in and be like, hey man, brother, you are not ready. You're not ready for this level. You ain't ready for this. I'm scared. Because Tevin Farmer, he'll expose you. He'll do it. He'll expose you bad. He'll expose you real bad. He will expose you horrendously bad. If you ain't built for this level, he'll make it known. He will make it known. Then I think outside of the likes of Zepeda, I believe. No. I'm sorry. Hold on, wait. It's loading right now. It is loading right now. Yeah, no. Outside of Raymond Murtala, who was a champion, and William Zepeda, most people are saying that the losses that he's incurred were either very much early in his career or outside again, like the early, 2011, got knocked out and then lost again in 2011. You lost 3 times in 2011 through 2012. But after that, he truly started evolving. And unless it was against the best of the best, this brother wasn't losing or his losses were disputed, genuinely. And so it's like, if you ain't built like it, don't let the record fool you. Don't let 33-8 fool you. His brother fights bigger than his record. He fights way bigger than his record. And he's a bad dude. He's a bad dude. But again, it's still the championship rounds. If there's anything anybody else wants to discuss, please, your time is now to go and make the show you want. Whatever you want to talk about and discuss, we got what? We can do 5 more minutes unless nobody else has anything they want to say. We can do 5 more minutes. Discuss the world of boxing and beyond. Go and talk about what you feel is going to happen. Your predictions for this fight. Jake Paul. If you want to continue with Jake Paul, what's next for Jake Paul? With the whole interactions of, in all honesty, will he fight Tank or not? Is he still going to try to look for Canelo? Is there going to be, I completely forgot. Could he try to go and fight Canelo after his fight with Chavez Sr. off the backs of the results of Canelo versus Crawford happening in September? And that's the real concerning thing. That's what I think might happen. I'm horrified, but that's what might happen. After this fight with Chavez Sr., or excuse me, not Chavez Sr., I'm surprised he didn't fight Chavez Sr. with how he normally goes about his normal career path. But him fighting Chavez Jr., he beats Chavez Jr. Canelo beats Terrence Crawford. Now, he's been saying he calls out Canelo all the time. Canelo is the last fight, I guarantee you. Canelo is the last end-all be-all that he was looking to do in his career. And I'm telling you right now, if Canelo does beat Crawford in September, Jake Paul's going to try to fight him. He's going to try to get a deal done. He's going to try to get a deal done. Listen, and Crawford all day, look, I get it. I truly do. In fact, next week when we come back, we can actually talk about it a little bit more. No question. I'm all for it. And Crawford will put Canelo in the Hall of Fame. Hey, if he does a Mark Henry and puts that in the Hall of Fame, I'm all for it. We're gonna see what happens. And shoot, I'm not gonna lie. Like I said, every single day it gets closer and closer every time that fight comes about. It gets closer and closer to what's going on. Or it gets closer and closer to me saying, I might have Crawford winning this fight. I might. I'm telling you, come back to me next week. Come back to me next week, boy. It's gonna be something serious when discussing it. But this fight with Canelo and Crawford, depending on that result, do not be surprised if Jake Paul tries to make that fight happen again, or if Jake Paul tries to make a fight with Tank. Y'all make so people can laugh, people can groan, people can say it's funny, but we've seen this man do this before. We've seen this before. It's a scary prospect. It's a very scary prospect indeed. And I don't want it to happen, but Lord knows it can. Lord knows it can indeed. But again, is there anything anybody else wants to say? In fact, actually, hold on. Let me check my. Let me. Hold on. Is that right? Okay, we good. Okay, just making sure that we good. But again, we got roughly 10 minutes. Anything anybody else wants to say? Anything anybody else wants to talk about? Any other news anybody wants to discuss? Debates, conversations, concerns. All that stuff. Let me see. Miss Queen never learned to never underestimate Bud Crawford. Yeah. Errol Spence made a lot of people believe, hey man, we can't put anything past us. But now I will say, there is a difference in underestimating versus understanding the threat. There is a difference. Underestimating is saying that Crawford has no chance in the world. That is a bold-faced lie. Absolutely. No, whoever says that is ridiculous and stupid. Crawford has a shot to beat Canelo. It's more than a shot. It's a real chance. It's an actual opportunity. No matter how much outclassing you may think he's got in weight, there's a real threat to Canelo across the ring from him. I'm so serious. But there's a difference in saying that he can't do anything at all versus saying that even with all of the skill sets that we acknowledge, there's still some understanding that Canelo, but it's still, that's a bad brother that's got the advantages that would be able to turn the tide against a skillful fighter like Crawford. And so I don't think this is more so underestimating. I think this is more so we recognize the talent and also recognize the talent across the ring as well. So it's an understandable weighted, I don't want to call it critique. It's an understandable weighted guess as to who people may feel would win. Let me see. They're gonna hate Crawford after what he does. They're gonna hate Crawford after what he does against Canelo. He's gonna make Canelo face black and blue like EJ. Let me tell you something. They're not gonna hate Crawford. I'm gonna tell you something right now. They're not gonna hate Crawford. They are going to jump on Canelo like flies on trash if Crawford beats him. I understand this.
Hey, look at this. We got the problems here.
The amount of problems
We got the problems
that are about to arise on the side of Canelo Alvarez if he loses against Terrence Crawford. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. Okay, not coming from me, but from other people. See, we have people commenting saying, oh, if Crawford wins, it's going to be great, but if Canelo wins, it's going to be just another fight. That's not true. If Crawford wins this fight, we've already said it's going to be one of the great. It's going to be one of the 5 greatest wins I've ever seen in boxing history. It's going to be one of the 5 greatest wins I've ever seen in boxing history from anybody. Insane. But more so, if Canelo loses this fight, the amount of stuff that's going to be thrown his way on top of off the backs of not fighting David Benavidez, and now you lose at your weight class against somebody coming up in weight against you. Brother, oh shoot. It's about to be so bad. It's about to be so bad. You can kiss Julio Cesar Chavez goodbye. You can kiss him goodbye. The living ghost. He ain't dead. We don't want him to die no time soon. But the living ghost of Julio Cesar Chavez, the actual ghost of Salvador Sanchez, and many of the other great Mexican warriors that we've seen throughout boxing history, you can kiss that goodbye. You can kiss that goodbye. His career, it's set in stone. It's set in stone. But he will be capped. He will never get above it. In fact, the only way he could even sniff opening the door to getting above that level of those greats would be to then have to fight David Benavidez. That would be the only way. Just to get the door back open to say, hey, maybe you can still reach those heights. But if you lose to Crawford without fighting Benavidez at all, further, that cements the door being shut on what your cap is as being able to reach the highest of highs in this sport. As an all-time great boxer, chasing the ghost of Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., of Salvador Sanchez. This is it's going to hurt you. It's going to hurt you. The public will not let that happen. The public will not let you elevate. Off the backs of the last 5 fights that you've had, 4 of them being bum fights. For example, the people that shouldn't even be in the ring with you. And then you lose to Crawford, a truly all-time great, but somebody who was, again, coming up from 147. Coming up from 135, we're being completely honest. From the standpoint of this brother is on that threshold of, in totality. He started out closer to 130 than you are now at 175. Or than you are close to 175. It's ridiculous. But you lose him with, again, and this isn't even with the buffer that Marvin Hagler had. Marvin Hagler fought Mugabe and every single middleweight under the sun, and fought Tommy Hearns, and fought Roberto Duran. He went through he beat he beat everybody. Hearns beat everybody before Leonard. Leonard was his last fight. But he had already knocked out Hearns. He had already knocked out Duran. He had done the work. There was nobody in the division better than him. And he had cleaned house. Cleaned house. And then he fought Leonard. Canelo never handled his business in full before fighting Terrence Crawford. And now, if he loses to Terrence Crawford without handling his business, the fans, and especially if I wish Fight Buzz TV was here, because he can vouch for this. Public opinion in Mexico has already shifted on Canelo. It was 50-50 at the time of talking with him last time, or him giving me that insight last time. That was almost a year ago. Now, brother, that may have skewed even more to where Benavidez might be the more known favorite in terms of the beloved public eye. He loses without fighting against him at his weight class against Crawford. Brother, they will not let him sniff Chavez Jr. You won't. It will be such a hard cap on that legacy being able to elevate. It won't even be funny. It won't even be funny. For many people, it will be vindication. But I promise you, it's because he didn't handle his business. And now, if that's the threat. That's the real threat. The ridicule, the clapbacks, the jeering, all of that. It will haunt Canelo if he loses to Terrence Crawford. I guarantee you, the public won't let it go. Never let it go. For God, I don't care what he does. I don't care if he moves up to 175. They won't let it go. If he finally fought Benavidez afterwards, they still won't let it go. Because you lost to this brother. You lost to Crawford. What makes you think you're gonna beat Canelo? Oh, it's gonna be held against him. What makes you think you're gonna beat the likes of Benavidez? And you lost to Crawford. It's gonna be held against him, I promise you. I promise you it's gonna be held against him. I guarantee you. We all know Crawford has that dog in him. He gets shot in the back of the head on the lower right ear and still drives. So oh yeah. No, he's a dog. He's absolutely a dog. And it further bleeds into why we think he has a dog in this fight. And again, next week we're gonna talk about it more. Absolutely. But we gotta get out of here for now, because it's 2:28. Almost 2 hours, 30 minutes. We've had a phenomenal show, absolutely. But people got stuff to do. You still gotta enjoy your weekend, and then I gotta get prepped for what I gotta do this weekend. So I'm not gonna be on Friday. Just know. I'm not gonna be on Friday. Not gonna be here on Saturday. Won't be able to cover the fights. Sadly, got some business I gotta handle. But we'll be back on Tuesday discussing everything that we saw. And mark my words, we're gonna have a lot to say Oh, I'm excited for it, no question about it. But when that happens, we'll discuss it with you all on next week. And actually, you know who else has a dog in him and has crowd control? Bobat, that guy, wait, hold on, wait a minute. You know who else has that dog in him? And it's crowd control, Bobat. Threw a guy through a glass door and shot the cops before I read to say, oh, shoot, good gosh, wait a minute. Oh, Lord, I didn't know he did all that. I didn't know he did all that now. Lord, now it makes sense. No wonder they're so good together. But they're a match made in heaven for each other. I've been shot. I shot at somebody. Oh, it works hand in hand. It works hand in hand. I love it. Absolutely. But again, we're gonna talk about it more next week. Because we gotta go. Because we got stuff to do. So, with all that being said, this has been another episode of The Watchable with me, your host, Jean-Luc Welch. Thank you so much for tuning in and listening to the show. I'm so happy to be with you all on today. We got more fights coming up this weekend, like with Wilder, like with Schofield and Kevin Foreman, like with Jake Paul versus Chavez, Cerudo, Gilberto Ramirez. He's fighting this weekend. Get ready, get excited, and be prepared to watch it all. Also, get ready. Because next week we're going to have a lot to discuss regarding not just the aftermath of this, but also fights going forward from here. Because the road to Canelo and Crawford is still strong, and we are already excited to talk about it all right here on the show. So please, leave a like on the stream. Comment your thoughts and opinions on what you like and didn't like about the show. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Hit the notification bell. Share the show with everybody that you know, so we keep on building up this empire together. Cash App, PayPal. Please, if you can, support the channel with any amount we'll do. We're getting close to monetization. It's all thanks to you and your support. I've been Joe. Also, every podcasting platform imaginable, Apple, Spotify, you name it, we're there. Rate us 5 stars. Listen to us on the go, wherever you are, after this show ends. I've been Jean-Luc Welch. You all have been wonderful. Peace and love. We are out here, yes, sir. We're going to see you all next week. So I'm not going to be here this weekend, but next week on Tuesday, we're going to be right back. Peace and love. Be safe. Be blessed. Enjoy your weekend. Enjoy your fights. And we are out of here.